Welcome in. It's game review night here on Hafeman Bros with a nice music intro and me singing. So, okay, anyway, never mind.
Yeah, please
Hey,
stop.
it's, the, it's the Packers lost 4 in a row. Oh no. But I don't know. I came out of that game feeling encouraged. I think that was the word we both used, right? Encouraged. Weren't you encouraged?
I was, and then I thought about it some more, and now I'm like, whatever.
No.
I don't know what happened. I was all excited to go today, thinking about all the stuff at work. I wasn't working very hard. I was thinking about all the stuff I was going to say tonight, and then I got really tired, and now I don't care no more. So,
Oh, well, I was really tired just like 25, 30 minutes ago. I almost took a nap. Then I thought that'd be bad. So I didn't take a nap. Here I am.
Yeah, it's probably bad.
Hey, look, the Packers for the first time, I don't know, some other guys said this too, like Browner and other people said that was the most fun they had watching a game this season in terms of the Packers actually looked alive. Actually looked like something, right?
Some Packers looked alive and looked like something,
Okay. I can get down with that.
and some Packers looked worse than ever.
Ooh.
The part that bothers me the most is had they run the ball with plays that they used on Sunday the previous 3 weeks, they would have 3 more wins. They'd be 6-2. But it took until the Bills game, which they weren't expecting to win, and then they ran in the second half. And the question is, what was the plan there? Was it to win the game, or was it to not get blown out? That's my question. Because it was successful, and now I've seen it.
Yeah, you see that,
and I've seen that Matt LaFleur did, like, that was the thing that I said was encouraging. Was I was questioning Matt LaFleur's coaching ability before this past week, and it looks like somebody did some coaching on offense. The running game was impressive.
Yeah.
Especially a certain guy who I've been calling for weeks finally got in the game more than 5 plays, and I have a whole video reel just for him. Just so you know, whatever you want to watch it, I'm ready to go.
The man's beard, his beard grows fast.
Yes, and he was awesome. He picked up the blitz. He worked hard. I've got plays where he looks like Lucas Patrick. He's blocking till the echo of the whistle a couple times. A couple times where Trey Edmonds was not having it. He kind of gave him some smack. He was like, "What are you doing?" And he's yelling at him. And then he was like, "Hey, I'm blocking you till the whistle there, brother." So, we'll get into that later. But
yeah, no, that sounds
anyways,
good.
What I'm saying is this. What's the reason we couldn't run those plays prior to this week?
Because we had to do the run solutions, not the running plays. The solutions to the runs that weren't that solutionable or helpful.
And then and then not only that, but we were so successful running the ball. Rasul Douglas gets an interception, and the very next play is a pass.
Yeah.
Even though we've been running the ball all over him the whole game. And then, of course, it gets tipped and intercepted. Can you imagine if that first play was a run? We probably would have scored a touchdown there.
I would have felt better if it was a run.
So think about that. We would have had a touchdown there, or at least a field goal. At the least a field goal. But I would think at least we get enough yards to get a touchdown.
Well, we got to wonder about Mason now, too. I don't know,
Yeah, I know. And the penalties, there's a lot of penalties in this game that were really bad. Like, there was one, they called another stupid. I don't know how they call this crap on Rasul Douglas. He doesn't do a damn thing. And they're calling penalties on him.
I mean, that one hands to the face or whatever, the guy like tucked his head so low. It was just like, I mean, so there are those penalty calls, right? But you also have to factor in what happened on the play. And if a guy, it's the same sort of thing for, if they're going to call an illegal block, they're going to call other things that happen. If the guy ducks his head on you or something like that unexpectedly, then it's kind of like incidental and probably should just be not called. And they decided to call it on that particular play, which was unfortunate.
Well, I got some on the video. I'll show you some things that happened in the game that were the Bills were doing some questionable crap.
Hey, Greg's here.
I don't know.
Greg's got a take on that. He says Aaron Rodgers allowed us to run the ball because we were underdogs, and that is that's the kind of the question. When the game was out of hand, and Aaron Rodgers didn't feel like, I'm not gonna like wing it around here and get picked off a couple times and risk all that. Maybe I'll just go with this running plan and let that just kind of work and see what happens. And maybe that's why he went along with it. Or maybe there was another thing that happened that we'll talk about on Friday on our radio show, which is my sneaky suspicion, actually, that I think that's part of the fact.
Well, my suspicion is that he knew damn well they weren't going to win. And of course, now all we've heard from LaFleur and from Rodgers after the game was, we can't win games running because of course the reporters like, you guys just ran for 200 yards. And it's like, well, we didn't put up enough points and we didn't win the game. So we still need to be more balanced and blah, blah, blah. Well, see, the thing is their idea of balanced is like 90% pass, 10% run. So did Rodgers deliberately run the ball knowing they were going to lose so that he can then say, oh, well, we still need to pass because the points are in the passing game, not in the running game, except even though you guys would drive all the way down the field and then, of course, get into the red zone and pass, and that's how you got field goals or a penalty on Tunyon where if he would have just ran the goddamn ball, he probably would have scored a touchdown there because every free play before that was a run, a Josiah DeGuara, a screen pass, and then a Robert Tunyon penalty, which pushed you back and forced you into a field goal. But every other play before those last two were runs. Or last three, because then, of course, they passed after the penalty, and they passed again. So it was like run, successful, pass. Penalties happen. Because, yes, points happen in the passing game. Penalties also happen in the passing game. Apparently against the Packers. There's more holding calls. There's more, an offensive pass interference on Tunyon, which was a bullcrap call. I mean, the guy was holding him the whole time. So either call holding or both or nothing. But you don't call one or the other.
I mean, how many times do you see that stuff? The defensive guy's grabbing a guy and the guy like shoves him off to get him off him. I mean, it happens almost every freaking play. Like, what do you want?
Actually, not as a Packer fan. What we've seen is the defensive guy holding us, and they don't get off the ball, and they end up like Alan Lazard in the playoff game against the Bucs where he got held, and then the guy just ran around and picked off Rodgers at the end of the first half, and then of course Tom Brady gets touchdown pass to Scotty Miller, blah blah blah. Well, that was only set up because Alan Lazard didn't fight through the contact, and usually Robert Tunyon doesn't fight through the contact either, but that time he did, and then he got penalized for it. Yeah, so. Stupid. I don't know.
Stupid. There's garbage.
A lot of crap with the penalties. A lot of crap.
100%. But going back to what you just said before, which is the line was showing you that they were doing pretty good with the running game, right? And rhymes with fun. It was fun to watch him run. So I liked it. It was the most fun I've had watching this team play offense this whole season, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but did you like it because you weren't expecting them to win?
No, I liked it because they were having success. Aaron Jones, 7.2 yards per carry. Like, what the hell? That's way better than most of our passes, right? That's better than some of our receivers' average per catch, right? So when they talk about bigger plays come to the passing game, not necessarily. Not necessarily. And Aaron Jones is like a big play all the time if you give him enough chances. And I was glad to see him run it more, and it was fun. And the line did better. And you saw how much the line was having trouble pass blocking on the interior. And I'm sorry, we've talked about this a million times. I know the edge rushers are difficult sometimes, but holy crap, when you get a big, strong dude in the middle that can blow you up, that screws everything up, right? So they're having some trouble with that. But what they weren't having trouble with was trying to get some movement in the running game. And that takes away, that slows down their aggressiveness on the pass rush too, if you're running more. And Von Miller even said in his press game post conference, he's like, they weren't expecting him to run it. They're like, oh, we're looking around. They're down 17, thought they're going to pass it. Kind of caught us off guard. Well, good. Probably always catch you by surprise with the Packers run when Aaron Rodgers is quarterback. So do it because it's better. Anyway.
Yeah, but see, by him saying that, then that makes Rodgers be all upset because somebody said, oh no, you didn't run the ball enough. They're They're like, well, you're Aaron Rodgers. Shouldn't you be running the ball more because you're the great Aaron Rodgers and stuff? You know?
Who knows what they're doing? But anyway, I liked it. I'm
not saying I didn't like it, okay?
It was
fun.
What
I'm saying is, if we would have done that the 3 weeks before, we would have 3 wins. Period.
Yes. They would have been 6 and
why
1,
didn't we do
just
it?
like I said they should have been. Because we had to figure – because, Ben, this is what happens with the Packers. Now, if the Packers haven't shown all of us Packers fans this by now, then you haven't been paying attention. The Packers are always the last ones to figure out what they should be doing in order to be successful. Like, we all know it. We on the show know it. You guys in the chat know it. Other people who do other stuff related to the Packers and kind of watch know it. And then finally the Packers figure it out. So the question is, will they stick with this, or is there some sort of power struggle still going on that they're going to lean back towards the pass when they shouldn't? Now, I'm guessing against the Lions, they'll go more pass heavy so they can get numbers up and, feel good about themselves and the passing and the quarterback and the receivers and all that, even though they really shouldn't. They should just run the hell out of the ball and beat the Lions up that way. But neither here nor there. Let's say you got some plays at Josiah Deguara. Well, let's talk about the Bills game and the Packers. Anyway, I was excited to see him run the ball. I liked it. It was very fun. I wish they would have won the game, but they looked alive. They looked like they were playing football and engaged, having success. Those things to me are fun, regardless of score. So let's see. We got some plays here. Let's throw them in there.
I got no arrows, but look, I got a giant arrow.
You got a giant arrow. Balazs right? Told you.
I figured out how to do it. But then after I did that, then nothing else worked. Actually, that's not true. Nothing else worked before that.
Okay.
Anyways, all we want to do is watch this guy. Every single one of this reel is about this guy. He finally got more than 5 plays in a game, and he was amazing. So let's just watch him. Now, this first play, he does okay, but he gets better. This is his first block of the game. It's not the best. But he gets down and low, and Jones gets off the block, and he gets 4 or 5 yards. So it's something. It's something.
Ooh, look at that. Christian Watson was blocking too.
Look at this. Pick up the blitz. Pick up the blitz. Hold the blitz.
Ooh, okay.
Is anything delayed on my...
No, it looked good to me.
All right, cool.
AJ Dillon. Just remember, you can pause it like when you want to talk about stuff.
Well, you telling me to pause it, I guess. I don't know. I just...
Yeah. Hey, one other thing that was nice is also these receivers that were in. I like Amari Rodgers. How did he do blocking from your observations?
Well, let's watch this play and you'll find out.
Okay.
Here's Deguara right here. Here's Amari Rodgers right here. Here's the best part about this play. They move Robert Tonyan in motion this way. The whole defense shifts, and Tonyan doesn't have to block because he sucks at it. And Romeo Doubs is down here, and he sucks at it. But guess what? Tonyan and Amari Rodgers are good at it. And this is a flip out pass to Aaron Jones for the first down. And watch the block by these two guys, by Deguara and what?
Amari Rodgers. You said Tonyan and Amari Rodgers, but I know who you meant.
Oh, yeah, I meant Deguara. Deguara here. Watch the block by Deguara. Watch the block here by Amari Rodgers. And that's what seals the first down. See these guys move over. Yep. Watch this block. Look at it. Look how long he holds that block. He's still holding the block. Both those guys, Amari and Deguara, did a great job. Here, look, Tonyan goes in motion. Milano moves with him. He's the major problem. That guy, he was a major problem. Jones gets the first down into some more yards. Great play.
Yeah, it was a little choppy, but they stayed on their guys, which I like. And that's so many times we see when the guys just totally whiff, or, that's what happens oftentimes when you see these other guys running that play and then you get nowhere. And it's a 2-yard gain or a 0-yard gain or a -2. But this time it was good.
And now this play, they're in shotgun with the 2-back set. So you're using 2 backs. But the good news is usually when they do the 2 backs, they don't have Deguara in there. This time they got 2 receivers, and Deguara is the only tight end / fullback in the play. And he lines up out here at wideout, and he comes all the way across and picks up a blocker here to spring a run. So let's watch Deguara. Don't worry about anything else. Just watch Deguara. This whole video reel is about Deguara and how awesome he is. Watch this. Now, is it the greatest block in the world? No. But it springs AJ Dillon, and he gets through here. Now, if only Yash could hold his block a little better, that would have been a huge run.
Yeah. Yash has got to be better.
Watch from this side. Watch him. Look at DeGuara's coming like a heat-seeking missile. He took his guy out of the play. That was awesome. Now, here, this time you got Big Dog, who's not so good. Now, on this play, I want you to watch DeGuara. He's going to block Edmonds, but he misses him, and he falls down, and then Edmonds ends up making the tackle. Don't worry about any of that. Just watch DeGuara the entire time and watch how mad he is that he screwed up. That's what I want to see. Because it's one of the only times he screwed up in this game, and he was pissed. So don't watch anything. Don't watch Aaron Jones. Don't watch any of these other guys. Watch DeGuara the entire time until the end of the play, and watch how he gets super mad because he screwed up one time. How many times have you seen that by a Packer? He falls down, then he gets up, and then the guy that he was supposed to block makes a tackle, and watch this. God dang it, he's pissed. He smacks his hands. He's like, son of a gun.
Stuff like that happens, man.
Right. But what you're seeing is he's like, dang it, he wants perfection.
Yeah, Josh Myers ain't that upset that he looks fine that he misses.
Oh yeah, Myers fell on his face and screwed up. Now, but here's the very next play. Now watch him on this play here. I don't think the run even goes to his side, but he blocks his guy and he kicks the crap. It's actually Milano, and he kicks the crap out of him and just keeps blocking him like Lukey Patrick, because it's the very next play, and he's super mad about the fact that he screwed up on the last one. So here he is. Just watch him. We're not watching anything but him. Watch this. Get out of here. Get out of here. He stays with him. He stays with him. Even though he kind of lost him for a second, he still stayed with him. Now this time you can watch Aaron Jones because he's really good. Now, if guys could block, Zach Tom and Yash, they both sucked. So Zach Tom did pretty good in other times. Oh, that's a cool play. Here, I'm going to back this up a little bit.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. They got lots of movement going on here.
Well, and they're out of shotgun, which is not shotgun. They're out of under center, I formation, which is super cool. I formation. And DeGuara's going to move in motion.
Back here.
Yeah, and he's going to move in motion, like making the linebackers think the ball's going this way, but then he's going to cut back, and Jones is going to come right behind him. Plus, I think one of these guys is moving in motion along with him. But watch DeGuara, because he gets the seal block on this, and it's awesome. Right there, Milano. Goodbye. Huge run. And why? Because DeGuara got the seal block again.
Ooh, I like Amari Rodgers getting a little physical at the end of that one, too. That's nice. Okay, let's give a couple. We got some chatters here. We got lots of people chiming in. We like that.
All right.
Zero's here. He says we should have just ran earlier. We lost the entire third quarter due to running the ball. Because we probably didn't run enough earlier. Then Greg says, but that's most of the offensive points we put up but that's the most offensive points we put up this season, which is sad. Packers have averaged 17 points a game or 18 points a game. So not good. Then Greg says they look good running the ball. We should be running the ball like the 49ers played us in the playoffs. Limit Rodgers to 10 passes, he says. LOL. Yeah. Which actually I'd be fine with. And then Zero says Jordan Love could be a game manager style quarterback. Ben has credence when wanting him to start. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, we talk about it, right? We talk about how, and we've said it last week, how you just really need a competent quarterback to run this system. And that's kind of what Jimmy Garoppolo is some of the time and other guys. But now the 49ers are kind of scary because all the tools they got, but he'll throw to him. And then Zero points out when star players leave, new leaders rise. DeGuara could be one of those guys.
Well, actually, I got another clip of showing maybe a new leader that's arising on his own.
DeGuara could be a leader. He's fiery. He's smart. He's aware. I like him.
He's very versatile. He's a very good. He's kind of like the Rasul Douglas of offense. He's not like particular fast. He's not like, but he's more agile than most guys.
It's a little smaller.
Right. He's a little well, Rasul's a little bigger for a corner.
No, I know, but in terms of, he's not like your prototypical guy for that spot.
Right, but he blocks pretty well. He's smart. He's able to line up in a bunch of different positions. You still got the picture showed up here or what?
Yep.
Okay, so on this play, look at him. He's lined up at tight end this time. So we've seen him lined up at halfback. We've seen him lined up at fullback. We've seen him lined up at off center in the shotgun. We've seen him lined up in I formation at fullback. We've seen him lined up at wide receiver and come all the way across formation and get a block. This time he's going to be lined up here at tight end, and he's going to come across as the play snapped and get the seal block for Aaron Jones to run for like a 40-yard run. Here he goes. Boom, boom, Also, Yash with a great block downfield in that play. I mean, look at that. That's all Aaron Jones being awesome, but it's also Josiah DeGuara. And of course, A.J. Dillon goes in motion. And here's your guy, Milano. He made plays, but can you imagine how many more plays he would have made had it not been for our guy DeGuara getting there? Also here, good block by Myers for once. Or maybe that's Runyon Bunyan, actually. And then right here, you got Yash who gets on Edmonds and shoves him downfield. So really good going by these guys.
Yeah, stick with that Yashi.
Yeah.
I know there's safeties and stuff there, but still, Yashi could stick with that a little better. I was a little disappointed with Yash. He's really got to pick it up. He's got to be better. But right now he's their best option. But he's got to be better.
Right here now, again, we got DeGuara lined up at fullback again. And he's going to get the key block again. Or no, he doesn't actually. I forgot. Oh, yeah, this is the play where he got cut low and he gets up. Look at him. He's looking for the penalty. Because that's illegal for a defensive back to go cut low on a blocker. And he's pissed. See that? So not only is he athletic and smart, he's also knows the rules. Watch. This guy takes him out. Look at, he goes right for his ankles and his knees. And he gets up. He's like, where's the penalty? The guy went for my knees. See that?
Yeah, and he just kind of tackled them too. You can't tackle
that's bullcrap.
You can only tackle ball carriers.
This is for A.J. Dillon. This one, I think, actually, this play is really good. This is a good. You're going to watch from the other
what
angle.
You're showing, Ben, what you're showing here is a lot of plays that look like the offense that their Packers are supposed to be running.
Right.
At LaFleur, right? I mean, these are, and that's how DeGuara was on the field more, because you're actually running those plays because if you had the other offense that Aaron Rodgers likes to run, then you wouldn't have those kick out blocks or those trap blocks coming from the opposite side where the tight end kicks up all the way out from the opposite side. You wouldn't have those lead up plays. You wouldn't have him in the I formation. None of that is in the Aaron Rodgers plays of the offense. So these are actually Matt LaFleur plays is what you're seeing.
Well, the other thing I like about this play, for instance, if you look where the center is, you've got 1, 4, 5, 6 guys, plus maybe 7. I mean, he's just on the offside of the center. So everybody's over here because they have 2 tight ends lined up over here. Okay. And DeGuara actually goes that way. So when he goes that way, the whole defense shifts that way. And the key to this play is Zach Tom does a great job of sealing off everybody from this side. And Bakhtiari holds his block for a long, long, long time. And it gives A.J. Dillon a great cutback lane, and he runs for 30-some yards. So this isn't really about DeGuara on this play. But he is in there, and he helps. Because he's been doing it so long, everybody goes that way. That's not that play. Crap! I'm an idiot. God, I hate it when I get it wrong. Anyways, but you'll see. What happened on this play? Why do I like it? Did DeGuara suck? I don't know. He missed everybody. I don't know. That's a bad play. Oh, yeah. Mercedes sucked on that one. Maybe this is the play I was talking about. Yeah, that's the one. So when you see it from the back angle, watch Zach Tom and Bakhtiari. It's the same type of thing, though. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys. Of course, this safety is running all across the field here. And as the play starts, you got DeGuara coming through. Yash misses his block. But look at Bakhtiari here holding off this edge.
And hold on. Look at 12. He's thinking about getting that block. Look at him right there.
You think so?
No, maybe. He's not thinking about it. He wants to make it look like it, but
look at Zach Tom here.
Yeah, they just. I mean, that's a
Myers up here.
A giant lane.
And the reason why this is successful is because it's not an RPO or a run solution play. It's guys just attacking and taking guys out. You know what I mean? The whole offensive line is, except for Yash, he missed his guy, but everybody else, boom, boom, boom. And then Bakhtiari steals the backside and Dillon cuts right back. It's awesome because they could actually come off the ball and run. And Bakhtiari knows it. He's pumped up because he knows it's a great play. These guys love. Now this is the screen pass. No, it's not. I take it back.
A lot of those running plays were a lot more effective than the passing plays.
Look at this play. Had Milano not gotten through, this is the one where he hollered and they didn't call it for some reason. I don't know why. That's still a horse collar. If you grab a guy by the shoulder pads and pull him backwards, which is what he did, that's a horse collar tackle.
It just shows you too, like AJ Dillon. I mean, a lot of guys that would have been, you'd have been done. That would have been career. a torn ACL right there, out for the season. Yeah. But he came back in the game. I was like, what the hell?
I know. I was surprised too.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Look at this. DeGuara and Yash in front with just these two little guys. That would have been a touchdown. And you'll see on the other angle why Milano got through. He's just too fast. But that tackle, I mean, that should have been 15 extra yards right there. That's bullcrap. That's another penalty that wasn't called. Here's the problem. On this play, they're asking Zach Tom to get to the second level and get to Matt Milano on a play that's going this way. And he's reading the running back immediately, so he takes off. It reminds me of that play we showed of, oh my God, of Ty Summers against the 49ers that one time where he ran all the way across and the center missed him because he's just too fast. Same thing. Milano's just too fast. Otherwise, this play would have been perfect. So you're going to watch here, Milano, Zach Tom. Zach Tom's not going to get there in time. There's nothing he can do. I mean, he's moving fast. Zach Tom was moving fast. But that's just a great play by Milano. I mean, he's just everywhere. He was a murderer in this game.
Yeah, there was, with him, I was looking up some stuff on him. This is the screen pass you're talking about?
Yep.
Could have been cleaned up a little better than that on the ball.
Well, it would have been more successful, I think, had they not moved. I don't know why you would run a screen pass and bring your wide receiver in motion and move the defense to the side you're running the screen to.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
That's really stupid. What they should have done is moved him over here.
Yeah.
And had DeGuara move up. He should have been right up against the line instead of being back. But they move Dobbs in motion, and that brings his defender over there, and it puts one more guy on that side, and that's the guy that makes the tackle. So that's even more dumb.
Right.
Because you watch, he comes across. This guy here, 7, supposed to be on him, or 7 or 3, and Dobbs misses the block, and there you go. DeGuara's tackled. Otherwise, that probably could have been a touchdown.
Right. That's the guy that tackles him.
So, but it's still a cool play. Watch how quick DeGuara gets this ball and starts moving. Way different than Robert Tonyan. I mean, he's gone immediately. He's agile. He's got a little bit of an aggressive streak. And then this is the play. I just put it in there because, when you watch Tonyan, he's getting raped right here. And then he kind of shoves him off. And by the letter of the law, yeah, it's a penalty, but I don't know. And then here's the last play I got on here. It's also DeGuara. He's lined up at tight end. It's the same play from earlier, except this time they got Mercedes in there. Mercedes stinks. But I just want to show you, DeGuara comes through, and he gets on Trey Edmonds, and he starts smacking him a couple times. Then Trey Edmonds is like in his face talking back to him. But it was DeGuara who blocked until the whistle. So on this play, don't watch anything else. It doesn't matter because he's the best. Oh, no, I was wrong. That was a different play. But watch this. He gets in the pile. Now watch him shove this guy. Get out of here. Let's watch that again. That's why I like that, because he shoved 3 different guys on that play.
And he's not even that big of a guy. He's kind of small for a tight end.
I know. So he takes on a little guy, gets him out of here. He goes in the pile. He shoves another guy down low. Then he shoves the big guy off and says, get out of here. I'm going to help my running back up. So there you go. That's obviously he's going to be my silent deadly player of the game. Sorry.
He showed some fire. He showed some fire.
Not only that, I mean, all those plays, all those huge runs, he was the key block. And the difference between this running game and what the Packers have done every other week is when they do those RPOs, that guy that DeGuara is picking up is usually the guy they leave unblocked who has to make a decision. But there is no decision because he knows the ball is going to the running back or it's going to be a quick pass. He doesn't have to worry about the quarterback. He'll never get there in time. So that free rusher always goes to the running back. So if the blocking up front is not very good, Aaron Jones or A.J. Dillon get tackled from the backside, and there's no backside cutback. By having DeGuara there, who's lined up at tight end or wide receiver, and he comes streaking across the field, he picks up the guy who normally would be the unblocked guy, and that gives A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones a cutback or whatever to get through. And how many times he was the sealing guy? He sealed the edge. He got the key block that sprung him for the first 5-6 yards. And the next thing you know, Aaron Jones, he'll take it for more. Even A.J. Dillon had the really good run. Now, that good run was because of Bakhtiari and Zach Tom sealing it. A nice little crease right up the middle there. But it's very different because this team this offensive line is not fast enough, though I think Zach Tom is. Zach Tom, he had some blow-ups, and you watched it on a pass protection. Sometimes he got beat pretty bad. I don't think he should be playing guard. I think he just gets manhandled.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's his fault.
He's barely 300 pounds, so
right.
Or maybe not even. Maybe he's under 300 pounds.
But he moves really well. When you watch, there's a couple other screen passes and things I don't have on the video here.
Mm-hmm.
But he's really good in space, unlike every other guy on the offensive line. Like when he's out in space, he finds the guy he's supposed to block and he blocks him. And so does DeGuara. Both those guys are pretty good at that. Sometimes DeGuara gets moving so fast he misses his guy. That's a couple times in the video where he's going so fast he just kind of outruns everything. He needs to slow down a little bit there. But he also sometimes he's a heat-seeking missile and just goes crazy and knocks a guy over. That's enough to spring the running back. So I don't know. I've been calling for him for how many weeks now? And finally we got to see it. It's what? Over 5 yards of carry for A.J. Dillon, over 7 yards of carry for Aaron Jones, 200 yards rushing. I don't think it's a surprise. It's DeGuara that's helping out. It's the system that's helping out. It's actually run calls. Not very many of those plays I just showed were run solutions. Most of them were actual run call plays because the offensive line can get off the line and smack somebody.
Yeah, they weren't playing the game where they didn't know what was going on or having to play between and might be a pass, might be a run.
Right.
No, those are runs. They knew it, so they blocked accordingly or tried to, and was much better and much more effective. Just to follow up, those blocks by DeGuara too in space like that, when you're coming across the formation or you got to peel up and block a guy or you got to kick out on those really long traps or long kickouts, those are not easy blocks. A lot of guys whiff on those, miss. So you want to, so that's why they're not like huge blowout blocks, because you got to be under enough control that you're not going to miss. What's most important on most of those blocks is that you're getting a body on the guy and you're running interference, not that you're like driving them 10 yards out of the way.
It's also timing, because you're going to get in the way for just a little bit of time, and that needs to be you need to get there exact right time that the ball carrier is going to be there right behind you so that you get that seal for him to go. And all that worked out great. And it's a testament to, I think, LaFleur's coaching this past week, the fact that they ran the right plays, they put the right guys in the game. And now moving forward, I want to see this. I don't want to go back to the old crap. If we see against the Lions, they start doing the same crap they did 2 weeks ago and beyond, past, I don't want to see that crap.
And
DeGuara needs to be on the field.
You want to see empty sets, and or
well,
sets
that's the
with
thing is
Tunyon and Davis and Big Dog, and
that 4th and 3 that they did, that was an empty set. Where Zach Tom held out pretty good, but nobody was open. There was nobody who was like a quick open. I mean, at 4th and 3, you want to run a play where a guy gets open right away.
Yeah.
But nobody was open. And Rodgers, his only option was to try to get to DeGuara. But at that point, Zach Tom was already, the guy was in his face and tipped the ball. So, but I still, you have to give the illusion of the run on 4th and 3. And that was a empty backfield, stupid call.
Right.
Stupid call.
Right.
And the 4th and 1,
don't worry about it.
I don't know what's going on with this 4th and 1. Apparently it was a run play to the outside that was called. However, there was 2 guys there, so then the can or play was to a zone run scheme on 4th and 1, and that's what they called. So Aaron Rodgers didn't call timeout.
Right,
LaFleur didn't call timeout. Didn't change to a pass play. Aaron Rodgers should know the offense enough to be able to tell everybody to change the pass play. And if you see a look of 10 guys in the box, don't run into it. And then after the game, like, well, yeah, you can't do that. And no, it was a dumb play call. Matt LaFleur said, well, it's not a dumb play call. You don't know what the defense is going to do. But the fact that you've been running down their throats the entire game, I'm pretty sure they're going to try to stop you from running for it. And so when you come out and you see 10 guys in the box, which is what the freaking Bills did, either call a timeout if you don't have a play designed and you can't can it to another play, call a timeout. Yeah. That 4th and 1 is super important. You needed it.
That's a much better use of a timeout than when, just running the play clock down and not managing, which they didn't actually do in this game. Well, maybe only one time. So that was an improvement. Lots of improvements. Zero says kind of a moral victory, found our identity on offense. We hope so. We hope they stick with this identity and expose the glaring issue for the Bills that maybe they can't stop the run, even though they were the top run defense team, but that's probably because the other teams passed against them a bunch because they were behind.
They're always way ahead, yeah.
Because Josh Allen is insane. He's like crazy good. Even though he is also does some dumb stuff, like we saw in the second half. And I don't know if that was all dumb stuff. Well, some of it was dumb. Like the pick that he gave to Jair was just dumb. Like, dude, you're out of the pocket. Just throw that away. Why
I think he was trying to throw it away, but he did throw it low.
Yeah,
he should have just threw it out of the back of the end zone. That's what normal human beings do.
I know. What? That was just dumb, Joshy. I don't know what happened on Rasul's pick. I'm interested to see how he made that one because it didn't look like
he threw it right to him.
I know, but it looked like he peeled. He wasn't covering anybody, or he
wasn't covering. He was in his zone, and
okay.
Josh Allen just never saw him.
Oh,
Rasul didn't have to move that far.
So maybe he was just kind of sneaky there too. I don't know.
Maybe.
Zero also says teams will now expect us to run. That will open up the play action fake. Yeah. Well, that's the way you should run this offense. Run the ball, get them playing the run, and then run some play action. And then it's easy for everybody. Even Aaron Rodgers makes it easier for him. We'll see what happens. Hopefully they keep running the same system with the same players.
After watching the game back, Aaron Rodgers had a good game for them. Like there was nothing for the most part. Other than that 4th and 1, I wish to God he would have called the timeout or LaFleur would have called the timeout. Like, I mean, you're in the league for 18 years. You know you're not going to win, especially when you know your offensive line. Those guys can't block against 10 guys in the box. Come on.
Well, it was 9 until he brought Sammy Watkins in tight. Then it became 10.
Yeah. And it'd be different if you had A.J. Dillon back there, but it was Aaron Jones. You know what I mean?
I don't think it was different no matter what. It's too many guys.
No, but I mean, at least there'd be a chance where he just plows over dudes. Like he did that a couple times in the game. He ran over like 3 different dudes. It was awesome. But
yeah, but it's still like,
I don't know.
That's in that situation where they're all packed in like that. That is where maybe well, I mean, what I was calling for was the old man bootleg naked boot out there because freaking nobody would be expecting that. But, I mean, that would have been the time to do it if you're ever going to do it. Or especially against that look with all those guys in there, that would have been the time to do the fake and then the naked bootleg by Rodgers. But that didn't happen. The other thing to be would be when they all pack in like that, well, then make an adjustment and then do the pitch to the outside. Because then you only got to get one block on the outside and you got a chance to get out there and get it.
It was 10 guys up. There was like 2 guys on each, like every gap was covered and then 2 guys on the outside too. Oh, it's weird. Right. I don't have it on here, I don't think, but when you look at it back, it was like they should have never ran that one of that. It was just dumb. Like,
all I know is when
almost like he wanted them to fail. I don't know. I hate to say that, but
I don't know. All I know is when you bring Sammy Watkins in tight and add another guy in there, Sammy Watkins isn't going to block anybody. So what the hell did that do? All it did was bring it.
He does better than Devontae Adams.
Did he block somebody on that play?
I don't know. I didn't watch it that close. Okay, I had a lot of stuff to look at today.
That was rhetorical.
My video thing wasn't working. And well, then you don't know. I don't know. Don't say he didn't. How do you know?
Because I saw it. He didn't block nobody. He just stood there and then let the guy penetrate inside.
Yeah, well, Von Miller exploded up. It blew up Yash and destroyed the whole play.
This is
all he did was just run in there and go crazy.
How are these guys from the outside pass rushers on other teams just like dismantling, like pinballing the Packers offensive linemen?
This is why, because it was a stupid zone run. So they're already moving that way. And then Von Miller just says, you want to go that way? Fine. I'll shove you even more that way. And then it was like a dominoes. They just knocked all the guys over and Aaron Jones had nowhere to go. That's why the stupid zone run is stupid. Stupid.
It is.
Especially in short yardage. I hate the freaking play. It's dumb. It makes you less aggressive. Your offensive line is already, the one thing you know is, hey, it's a running play. I'm going to get off the ball and smack a guy. And you're taking that away from you. You're taking it away. And you don't have as much. What, huh?
Zero says, has Sammy Watkins done anything for us? He had that one big pass play, catch and run.
One big against the Bears. Game. Yep, that sealed the Bears win. That was the only one he had.
Against the Bears? Oh, I thought it was against the Vikings. Okay. Bears.
No, because it was a game they won because everybody was happy about it.
Oh, all right. Well, fair enough.
And it was off a play action pass.
Who else feels really bad for Christian Watson? God dang it, that kid. Poor
I do.
Kid. God dang. And they need him. really bad. But also, come on, he can't even get started. And that play, it was like, dude, 3 guys just crunched the heck out of him. Like,
I know. Why would you run him in the middle of the field like that? It's so crazy.
Poor kid.
It doesn't even make sense. His game is speed. Why would you run a screen pass
over in the middle? Yeah,
over in the middle of the field for a guy with super speed where there's a whole bunch of guys? He'd have to use agility and stuff. It's dumb. You can do it to Aaron Jones because he'll make guys miss and like avoid the big hit. But when you're 6'5" and super fast, but not the most agile guy, you're going to just get slammed. It was dumb. It was a dumb play. I mean, it was a great play. Actually, I take it back. I mean, I like the play, just not for him. It should have been for Aaron Jones or, somebody like that. Randall Cobb, Mari Rodgers, somebody like that.
And I like that play on a different down too, not a third down and long,
third and a million,
super long.
Yeah,
because then they're gonna sit back and then they have room to kind of
zone
in on them,
and they're all
like, okay,
they're all sitting back waiting for him. It's almost like they ran him into it. I mean, I don't. Yeah. Sometimes LaFleur's play calling makes no sense, and I don't know what to do. And again today, they asked him a question, and he was like, "Well, if I knew that answer, then we wouldn't be sitting here." And I'm like, "Well, you better start knowing the damn answers, LaFleur, because you're the damn head coach. Like, you should know the reason why things, whatever the question. I can't remember what the question was. It was something about, I don't even. But it's just, I'm getting sick of hearing him say that. I really am.
Yeah.
When somebody asks a question, he should say, "I know the problem. We fixed it. I just can't tell you guys because then everybody else is going to know." That's fine. Even if you're lying, that's what you should say. But you shouldn't say, "Well, if I knew that, then we wouldn't have it. Wouldn't have the problem." I mean, it makes you just seem like a dummy. Like a complete idiot.
Zero says he's never seen a team put so much pressure on rookies before. Well, not a Packers team anyway, because usually they don't even see the field. But this team they're looking at. Hey, just a side note before we go any further, because you talked about him coming into the game, was Milano on the Bills, and I was like, okay. and I thought, awesome. Right. And then you said he was making all these plays, and I looked him up, and he was a 5th round pick by the Bills a number of years ago.
I think it might have been 6th year,
2017, I think.
Yeah.
And his 40 time is like 4.67. So, and his 40, he wasn't very fast, but he must have gotten faster or plays faster because
he reads things so fast. Like he's able to his awareness is super high. Like he just goes. And that's the other thing. He doesn't hesitate at all. He never hesitates. And that's something the Packers do constantly is hesitate. It's actually the biggest problem with our defense is the fact that they're not aggressive. A lot of guys. I mean, Rasul's aggressive. That's about it.
Zero doesn't like
Quay Walker too.
Zero doesn't like. We'll go back to Quay Walker in a second. Zero doesn't like that they try for the field goal there, but I didn't have a problem with it. Look, their offense have been kind of churning, and they didn't have answers for certain things. It was like you got to give. Look, Mason Crosby, you're a professional kicker. You got to make that kick. You got to find a way to get it done. I know the snap wasn't great. I thought the hold actually Pat O'Donnell got the hold down okay.
Yeah, he did. I thought he did too.
But can we go off on that for a second? Why in the hell can the Packers not find a long snapper that's any good?
I don't know.
I mean, that's all the guys do. If you're going to have a shitty long snapper, then at least give me somebody who does something else. Like he's also a tight end or he's also a linebacker or does something. But if you're going to have a designated spot for a long snapper, that's all the freaking guy does. Can we get a good one? What the hell? I mean,
I don't get it.
It's insane. It's just mind-blowing because you would think for having snaps that are that inconsistent, you could grab somebody on the team and say, like, I think you could probably do this just as good. And at least the guy's more valuable then. But this is nonsense. I don't understand it. That being said, Mason, I thought the hold got down when they showed the replay of it. Hold got down. O'Donnell did fine. If you're Crosby, if you're distracted because the snap's off and the hold's not there yet right away, you just got to trust it's going to be there, and you just do your stuff and you kick it.
All right. Well, I guess you get the wrong time. He's talking about a different time. You're talking like when there's 3 minutes left. or under 3 minutes left. He's talking about when there's 6 minutes left.
Is there a
after
punt?
they scored the touchdown, the Samari Toure.
Oh, all right. My bad.
So it wasn't a punt. It was a kickoff.
4th down by 10. All right. Well, my bad. My bad, 0. Anyway.
But either way, it's fine. I mean,
anyway, 0. I wanted to go off with that long snapping and Mason Crosby. Come on. I just wanted to say
do you trust the special teams getting an onside kick? There's 0. I mean, they can't even return a damn kick, much less get an onside kick.
Nobody can get onside kicks already, and the Packers don't have enough. They don't have the right guys for it. Who's going to get it?
Rasul Douglas.
Sorry, 0. You led me to something I wanted to talk. Yeah,
Rudy Ford will get it.
Rudy Ford. Amos will catch it, probably, if he's on the hands team.
Yeah, I don't know.
He won't tackle people, but the other, that's like a commonality for the Packers safeties. When are we going to talk about Darnell Savage and Darnell Savage?
Well, we're going to talk about him right now because I'm going to get the video up.
Well, let's talk about him.
Okay, well, let me get the video up and we'll talk about him. You can talk. We'll just play the video and we can talk about him as I'm playing the video. How's that?
I just don't understand how the guy can be exactly the same as he was pretty much as a rookie.
Oh, he's worse. Dude, he's worse.
He's worse?
I mean,
there's definitely hasn't been any improvement. That's for sure.
He is 100 times worse.
0. We know you did. You picked him 27-26, and you could have been close. It could have came true, 0.
Yeah, you were insane, 0. Good job. I mean, what happened? All right, hit the share, bro.
All right, let's see some plays.
Okay, we're going to talk about the Packers. Oh, you see this right here?
Yep.
Sorry ass D. That's what I called this one. So here we go. Here's some sorry ass D. And most of it, the first 4 plays or the first 4 or 5 plays are mostly Savage.
I got one problem here. Rasul's not on the field already. That's a problem.
So as you're looking here, you got Stokes,
what?
Jair, and I don't know. I guess Amos is really worried to help Jair, and Stokes is all alone. But it's a running play, so we're okay. And the thing I wanted you to watch is Savage knows it's a run now. He's already seen the handoff because he sees it right in the hole, and he sees it, and he hesitates. He moves forward pretty good, and then he kind of putzes around, and that's the reason why it's dumb.
Right now, look where Josh Allen is. I mean, you know it's a handoff. What are you looking at?
Well, he knows it
too. Well, they all should know it by now.
Well, no, Amos can't see past all this mess.
I don't know, dude.
Savage is looking right. Savage knows because he goes in.
Ugh.
And he still misses the tackle. And Quay Walker luckily got off his block and made it. And I've been hearing some slander on Quay Walker this week.
What?
It needs to stop. It needs to stop. Nonsense. He's been playing very well for a rookie.
Heck yeah.
Especially when you compare him to his teammates who have all sucked. So stop it with the slander on Quay Walker.
Yeah. He's been really good. I have been impressed.
Watch him get off this block. 7. Off the block. Is a little bit late. It would have liked to have been sooner. But I mean, nobody else got off the block. Preston Smith was over there. He didn't get off the block. None of those other guys got off the block.
He's got to read which play that goes, or which way that play goes too. He can't just pick that hole.
Now this play, what bothers me the most is Devondre Campbell, because I expect more from him. Savage to be dumb, and then you're going to see Stokes over here, and he's going to suck too. But let's take a look at what's going on over here.
How about
we got a tight end?
Do you expect anything from him on this play?
No, he sucks.
Okay.
I don't know what he does, actually. I can't remember. I'm just talking about behind the line of scrimmage here. Because this is going to be a run. It's going to be out here, okay, to this side. And the tight end's going to go in motion. So there is no reason for Devondre Campbell to be hanging out over here. But when the tight end moves, because the tight end picks up Gary, Devondre Campbell just stays here. He doesn't go over to see what's up. And you might say, well, his gap, that's fine. Like, make a move. Yeah, okay, it wasn't the tight end. And I thought the running back would be coming through here because it's a pretty big hole.
Wait a minute. This can't be real.
But he actually...
Kenny Clark, is that a single block? He's getting single block there?
And he's getting his ass kicked, yes.
Okay.
And Dean Lowry is getting double teamed. Gary's getting blocked out here. And the running back actually goes through this gap here in between these two guys, which takes Campbell out because Campbell's so far over here. He should be attacking.
Yeah.
But he's being a wussy. And then Savage, even though he's here, somehow he goes to the outside of Stokes.
What?
And then the back cuts back inside. So this guy wants to go block him, but he doesn't even have to. See, he misses him.
What the hell is he doing?
Let's go watch that again. So this receiver's job right here is to block Savage, because a normal safety would be like, oh, there's the running back. It's coming this way. I'm going to come up in that hole. But Savage just wants to avoid the play altogether and just runs all the way out here. And this wide receiver is like, wait a minute, I'm supposed to block you. Where are you going? See? I mean, it's almost like he's the running back.
And Stokes jumps out there too. They both jump outside.
Right. They're both right next to each other. They're blocking each other pretty much. This receiver doesn't have to block anybody. He's like shocked. He's like, wait a minute. I don't have to block either of you guys? Awesome. I'll just stand here, I guess. The other thing is, look at this body language here. Preston Smith. Jaron Reed. Of course, Kenny Clark, who stinks. And Dean Lowry's still getting his ass kicked because this guy came off the double team, to then go up and get Campbell. So Campbell not only took himself out because he was too slow, he was so slow, this guy got a team of Dean Lowry, which sprung this guy. He got up to the second level to take out Devondre Campbell, who, of course, misses the block. And Gary misses the block because he falls down. And then you got these two idiots out here. So this guy cuts to the inside, and there's nobody there because Savage is supposed to be here. Why he jumped to the outside, I'll never know. Stokes' job is the outside. Savage's job is right here. Now, he would have been blocked by this receiver anyways. But either way, it's just weird. And then, of course, Savage makes the tackle on the play. Amos gets schooled, running around like an idiot. It just looked like the gosh dang Keystone Cops out here running around like a bunch of morons.
And Stokes is
it's just so dumb. Now, this play I put in here because I like Kingsley Enabare's hustle and also Rasul Douglas's hustle. Quay Walker's hustle. Preston Smith, if you could just make a damn tackle, that'd be great. But apparently he just has the ability to get his hand on a guy and then not wrap him up for unknown reason. So he gets out of there. He's running back. Look at Kingsley Enagbare. He was over here. He's all the way around like this. And where's Kenny Clark? He's still in the same spot he was at the start of the damn play. Of course, because he sucks. Here's Douglas, who was way over here. Now he's taking a beeline straight here. And Savage is following.
There's no way Savage should have been there by now. Like, Douglas should not.
For him. And Douglas misses. But there's so many guys there that it's okay.
Yeah, but he made him commit. He was aggressive, so he made the guy cut back in.
Exactly. Douglas attacked, and Enagbare attacked, and that's why, and then everybody else rallied. But that's what you have to do. These guys think like they're the last line of defense on every play. The thing is, you need to attack the guy and make him, because then he'll have to adjust right now in a second and get the rest of your guys over there to make a play then. But when that doesn't happen, it ends up being a big mess. And it's the same place. So, they're all over here. And of course, Stokes has been getting blocked the whole fucking time. Oops, sorry, time. Parental advisory, everybody.
He deserves it, though. He deserves a couple of Fs because he's so bad.
This is the Josh Allen 3rd and 14, 20-yard run down to the 1-yard line. And the thing I don't understand is they play man coverage on this play, and nobody picks up Josh Allen. We talked about this last week before the game. I said, hey, you know what I want to see happen? Let's make Quay Walker's assignment real easy. On 3rd and long, let's make him the Josh Allen spy. That's his only job. Let's only rush 3, right? And then we play a zone back behind it and have Josh Allen be spied by Quay Walker. But they don't do that. It's a zone concept. So if the guy gets in your zone, you man and coverage him. What ends up happening is our fastest guy, Quay Walker, ends up covering the running back who comes out over here. And guess who gets covered by Stephon Diggs? Devondre Campbell. Well, that wouldn't work. And then these guys all go deep, and Douglas and Jair are way back here. And then Stokes is back here, and Amos is over here, and it's all a big mess. And Stokes is covering nobody, and it's just dumb. And then, of course, Josh Allen runs around over here and takes off, and nobody wants to tackle him except for Rasul Douglas, and it's really sad. And the hustle's not there. So here you go. Quay Walker has to cover this guy. So he's sitting here doing nothing. And this running back is just sitting here. So it just takes Quay, our fastest guy, out of the play. And now Diggs is just standing there. I don't know what's going on. And Stokes is laying on the ground over here for some reason. I don't know why. Douglas is coming inside with this slot guy. Allen's going to come around, and there's nobody who's even looking for Allen. Allen's got all this space, and your last line of resort is Jair and Savage. Well, guess what? That's not very good.
What is Amos covering here? What is he doing? There's no receivers that are coming in.
I don't know.
There's nobody there.
And let's say this guy gets out here and he does a quick, and he schools Jair and gets to the inside. There's no way he's going to get back here to cover this. What are they covering? I don't know. They're covering, I guess, the first down marker. I'd be covering the end zone. If you're going to have one guy deep, have him cover the end zone.
Okay.
So he's still behind the line of scrimmage. Here, he's doing. Rasul's here. So Rasul's let his guy go. Campbell is jogging. Quay Walker is jogging. Stokes is just standing here. Jaron Reed is trying to get to him.
Yeah.
And Preston is just jogging.
Savage. Look at him go for it.
Savage can't tackle anybody. Jair, of course, conveniently is blocked the entire time.
Blocked the whole time. The whole time. Couldn't get off that block.
And Douglas wasn't really moving that fast either. I don't think he thought that Allen was as fast as he is. And Campbell is, look at him. Look at his, does he look like a guy who's booking it over there? He certainly isn't booking it. So we got no book, no book, no book. Jaron Reed actually booked it. Savage booked it, but he sucks. And then Amos, of course, is slacking it.
Why is he, at this point, why the hell is he way back on the end line? Why is he running the goal line there?
I don't know.
Like, dude, he's clearly running by this point. Come up. Try to stop him.
And once again, everybody said Preston had a great game. Well, if he had such a great game, why is he always laying on the ground? Because I don't know how many times I saw him laying on the ground, missing tackles. And he loses contain, and Josh Allen gets to the outside, and that's how this play, it's 3rd and 14. The quarterback runs for 20 yards. Now, I know he's an amazing athlete. Don't get me wrong. Now, this play I want to show because they do stop it, but it just goes to show what a demeanor the guys on the team have. Okay, who are the guys that want to work hard and who are the guys that don't? And I'm going to pause it later on in here. Okay, so it's bottled up, right? It's bottled up. You don't have to help out or anything, right? There's no reason to help push and shove. But they haven't blown the whistle yet. So if you haven't blown the whistle yet, you should get your ass in there and help out, right?
Yeah, because these guys, the offensive lineman can push. Everybody on the offense can push. Well,
our littlest guy on the field, Jair, gets in there and shoves. Okay? Nobody else. Look at him. Jair's trying. Even Preston sort of got in there. But who's our captains? Kenny Clark. Devondre Campbell is helping this guy up already. The whistle hasn't been, and Savage is taking a loaf out. He's talking to this guy about, oh, hey, what's up? What's up? What are you guys having for dinner tonight? Late night snack. You want to go meet somewhere? The whistle hasn't even blown yet. And here, Campbell's helping this guy up. Savage is talking about dinner, and Kenny Clark is standing around doing nothing. So our two of our captains, I mean, I don't know. Play till the whistle. Now the whistle's blown. Now the whistle's blown. And that's the kind of thing these guys do. They don't play to the whistle. And then on this play, I don't know what the best option would be here. As you're looking, of course, Preston wants the quarterback, and he takes off after him, and he takes an angle. He doesn't think that Josh Allen's as fast as he is. Well, he gets to the corner. And then Amos is supposed to cover the tight end. Savage is supposed to cover this guy. So neither of them really leave their guy. But then once they think Josh Allen is past Preston, then they both leave their guys. Instead of having one of them stay with the tight end. It would have been nice if Savage would have stayed and maybe Amos went to the quarterback, but they both go to the quarterback. And then, of course, the tight end's wide open. And then there you go, touchdown. And even he's like, oh, it was the easiest touchdown I ever had in my life because these guys are morons. And it's the truth. And what is Campbell? Oh, man, he bit on that play fake. Look at that. Unless his assignment was covering that running back. It might have been. So I don't know. I can't. But look, he's straight up over here. He's not in the play at all.
That's why play fakes are good.
And Preston does a good job, but I think he underestimates how fast Josh Allen is. And there he is. I mean, his hands are right on him, but it's never quite good enough. I mean, his hands are all over him. He should have never got that pass off. Look at that. Holy crap. I didn't realize he was that on top of him. But he just missed him. I mean, look at him. If he could have got this hand on this shoulder instead of underneath his shoulder, underneath his arm, if it would have been on the shoulder, he could have never threw this ball. But Josh Allen's just too strong. And everybody's focused on the quarterback. Nobody's worried about the receivers.
And Jair kind of plays between guys instead of picking one to cover, and it's not helpful.
It's not good.
Yeah. I mean, but Jair had a good game. I give him credit.
And this is the most disturbing of all. Savage. I mean, there he is. And look at his all of his weight is on his back, on his butt right now. He's so passive. He's actually going backwards, if that's possible. You should be moving forward. You should be heads up, attacking in a forward motion, ready to go. And he's worried about getting schooled to the right or to the left. And of course, he totally just whiffs like a piece of crap. Another 12, 13-yard run again. But Savage was there. Is that Joe Barry's fault that these guys suck and they're not aggressive at all? And then this play. I love Adrian Amos, but
good question.
Something's wrong here. I don't know what his deal is. Look at him. Your job at this point, you cannot give up the corner. He should be shading him to the inside. Do whatever you can. Attack this shoulder of this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like attack him, maybe even go a little bit like this. Force him back. Maybe somebody's there. But what you can't do is dance with him. Because he's got way more agility than you. But he tries to dance with him, and then we all know what happens. Touchdown. And it just made him look old and slow. And I don't know, and Preston tries to go around the guy.
Yeah, this one's like the worst. Like, I don't know what Amos is doing there. When you're unblocked, you have to attack that guy, and it's clearly a handoff. You got to go up and make the tackle. You can't sit back. If you sit back, you're going to lose. If you sit back flat-footed, the guy has two options. He has two-way go on you. If you attack him, he's got to make the cut one way to beat you. And so you force him back to the inside. That's always the rule. If you're going to miss, you force him back to the inside. But you got to attack that play. You can't just sit back all those yards and then just give it to him and then look like a moron.
Now,
good thing these guys didn't play when Barry Sanders played. That's all I'm saying.
Well, on this run here, you're going to see a tight end on the end, and this tight end goes in motion, or wide receiver goes in motion. So you're going to end up with I formation, one tight end, and then a guy in motion, and then a guy over here. And they're playing zone, obviously, because Jair doesn't move. But the problem is Jair doesn't move, like at all. So when this guy becomes engaged, okay, I'm assuming he's supposed to worry about his zone, right? Got something coming back this way. But he doesn't read that it's a run. He never moves from this spot. Him and Amos are pretty much standing next to each other, and then they get blocked by the same guy. And if it wasn't for McDuffie, who gets a hand on 26, he would have been gone for a touchdown. Because they got the numbers over there. I mean, we've only got Slayton, who takes an inside move. You got a pulling guard. So they got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys seal on 1, 2, 3. And then McDuffie is the 4th. And thank God McDuffie gets off the block of this guard, or else it would have been a touchdown. Because otherwise it's Savage who's going to stop him. And that's not going to happen. But watch. Look at Jair. He sees that it's a run. Look at where he looks. He knows where the ball is. But he still just stands there. He's not moving to be like a help. Like, what happens if McDuffie would not have made this tackle? Who's going to... If you know the ball, he's looking at the ball. He should be running this way. He doesn't. He stands there, does nothing. And Savage has zero awareness of what the hell's going on at all. He's totally looking at this guy.
That's Savage,
which is fine. Like not Savage, Stokes. I keep getting them mixed up because they both suck so bad. Savage is right here and he stinks. But either way, they both start with an S and they both suck. I mean, S, Savage, Stokes, suck. S, okay? But also Jair. Come on, dude. What are you doing? And thank God for McDuffie, or that would have been a touchdown. And that guy knows it. He's like, God dang, it would have been a touchdown. He knows it.
Stokes still doesn't know what's going on. He's like, what? That guy might be one of the least aware players I've ever seen, Eric Stokes.
And look at here. Look at this guard is like, man, who am I going to block? This hole is so big, I don't even know who to block. He has no idea who to block. I mean, he takes McDuffie because he's like, I don't have to block Savage. I ain't worried about that. Dean Lowry can't get off this single block. Gary can't. Or actually, this might be Igbari. Igbari's having a hard time with this tight end. And then he's through. Thank God McDuffie's there.
And McDuffie beat the block.
I mean, that hole was so big, I could have ran through that hole. And I am the slowest, useless guy around. Oh, yeah, that's why I wanted to watch this play. Oh, I'm so mean. I'm sorry, but I have to do it. Okay, you ready for this play? Okay, are you ready? This right here. Just watch Kenny Clark right here. And this guy here, 70 sucks. 76. 70 sucks. I don't know what I'm doing. Watch Kenny Clark right here. That's all you want to watch. Just right here. Just watch this. Don't watch anything else. Here you go. You ready?
Oh,
did you see that?
On the ground.
Did you see that?
Yeah, just throw him on the ground.
Kenny Clark is so good. He's like the best.
At least he penetrated on the line of scrimmage, even though he got thrown there. True. But that's one of his few plays he got
his ass kicked. That guy just whipped him like a freaking rag doll. Kenny Clark, the great Kenny Clark. If I got to hear one more time how great Kenny Clark is, I'm done. Okay, now here, this play, I want you to watch something. Okay, so you can actually watch from the other angle too, but it might be better.
Then just let it go. Or just say what it is, and then we'll watch the other angle too.
It's an incomplete pass. But what I want you to watch...
Oh, because that was the one of Jake Kumaro. Dang it, Jake Kumaro. Poor former Packer.
Okay. What would you think if you were this guy right here, right? And you see this receiver coming like this. Yep. And you see this guy in front of you. Like you're looking, right? You see this guy in front of you. He obviously has to worry about the quarterback, right? You would think your job would be to cover this receiver, right?
Yeah, because there's nobody else back there. I mean, just nobody.
Watch what Stokes does. Just watch Stokes.
He just keeps backing up.
I mean, what the hell was that? What the hell was that?
But did he just run? He just ran super deep. Yeah, he just ran super deep. Try it again because it might have been the connection here. He just went super deep on it. When there's nobody else on that whole side of the field. What the hell is he doing? Why is he turning around?
Not just that. The fact that he saw what was in front of him. How is Rasul Douglas supposed to cover the receiver and the quarterback at the same time? Thank God that was a bad pass.
Yeah, he didn't. I am 100% convinced that Eric Stokes is literally not aware of anything that's going on the field. Not aware of anything, unless it's the guy right in front of him for the most part that he's supposed to cover. I don't think he can see that he can't find the ball. He can't find guys to tackle. He doesn't know what the hell is going on. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
This is the play.
It's ridiculous.
When there was like less than a minute left before halftime.
Really bad.
When they started at the 20-yard line, right? You would think you would want to have two safeties deep, probably have some guys deep, give them a couple passes in front and tackle, right? Right? Number one. Number two, who's the fastest guy on the field for the Bills? Diggs, right? So you would think I would be worried about Diggs going deep, right? So number one, I would probably put Jair on him. And number two, I would at least have these guys. I would have Jair drop back. I would have Savage drop back. I would have Stokes drop back, play like a 3-deep zone with everybody else underneath at the first down marker. That's what I would do. They play, I don't know what they're doing. Savage is the only guy who goes deep on this play, and he's terrible. And Rasul has to stick with Diggs, which he can't because he's not that fast. It's a dumb freaking play call. All you have to do is stop him from getting across the field, and you think that Rasul Douglas is going to keep with on a 50-yard play? I mean, look at this. He's at the 10-yard line. He throws this ball 60-some yards in the air. Look at this. He catches at the 35. Do they not know they're playing Josh Allen?
I don't know.
They weren't worried about the deep pass?
They were more worried in the games against the Giants and the Jets, it seemed like, than they were in this game. They played softer against Zach Wilson and Daniel Jones than they did against Josh Allen. I'm not sure.
And here's the great Kenny Clark single blocked on a rushing play, by the way, where Josh Allen has enough time to throw a 65-yard pass in the air. Gary's getting double teamed. Enigbare had to do a stunt or something. I'm going to go rewind this and see what's going on. But let's watch the great Kenny Clark, who's supposed to be so great. And he gets single covered, single blocked. Oh, I guess it was a double sort of. I don't know what they're doing. Like, nobody's attacking. These guys are blocking each other. There's no pressure on the quarterback.
They're running a stunt there, I think, trying to.
Well, it didn't work.
Jeremy gets there, but usually you want the faster guy to loop around, not the slower guy to loop around. Just as a rule of thumb.
That's my. And I hate to bring everybody down with all these plays. I'm sorry.
You don't have to.
I just showed I don't know how many freaking plays that these guys just they're not defensive players. They're not aggressive. They're just not.
How Savage can that sucks.
Be? Amos sucks. Even Campbell sucks. Kenny Clark is too damn slow. Sometimes he beats the guy in front of him, but he never makes a play. So that's great. You can beat the guy in front of you, but if you never make a play, you're too slow to get there. Who gives a shit? You're terrible. I'm so sick of hearing how Kenny Clark is so damn good. Oh my God. Really? Because he never does anything.
I think
Za'Darius Smith would like make 1 or 2 plays a game. Now he's on the Vikings, making plays all over the place. He makes 3-4 plays a game. Probably sucks all the other ones, but nobody knows because he makes those 4 plays. Kenny Clark doesn't even make 1 play. He can't even make 1 play. I mean, he's terrible. But all I hear is how, well, Kenny Clark, well, I mean, he's doing great. And whenever they say anything about the defense, it's always, well, this guy's got a problem. Rashawn Gary can't set the edge on him. Preston Smith sometimes is good against the run, but he can't quite get to the quarterback. But he gets there, but he doesn't quite wrap him up. And then, Dean Lowry stinks, and this guy stinks, and this guy's slow, and Quay Walker he doesn't fill the hole. Well, I'm telling you, he filled the hole because he got a bunch of tackles in the first quarter, and then he got kicked out of the game, and he made more plays in the first quarter than Devondre Campbell made the whole freaking game. Now, I know he got hurt too. But he made more plays than almost everybody else besides not named Rasul Douglas. Rasul Douglas made more plays than anybody else. But Kenny Clark does nothing. He does nothing.
To be honest, watching the Packers, it is just the Packers' opponents the last few weeks. I think we've seen at least one defensive tackle on the Giants that was more impactful than him, better than him. 2 guys on the Jets that were better than him. And at least 1 guy on Washington that was better than Kenny Clark. And then these guys in the Bills, 2 guys that are better than Kenny Clark there. So these are just the last 4 Packers opponents. I'm not even looking at the whole NFL, and I've found 6 or 7 guys better than the guy that we constantly hear how great he is. What do you think as a Packers fan out there, if you watch this and you've watched this long or you catch this part? Like Kenny Clark, it's the inflation. He's been inflated into this thing that he is not.
And you know what scares me is Elton Jenkins. What are they going to do? Is he the next Kenny Clark? We keep hearing how good he is, but
no,
he's a fine player. But after the injury, he's definitely not the same. So are they going to pay him a crap ton of money like morons, or are they going to be smart and let him go? I mean, I hate to say it, but is a guard worth that much money, especially when your cap scratched or whatever? Like they're going to be in trouble next year, Especially if Rodgers retires, well, then you're screwed. You got so much big damn cap hit, you're never going to be out of that.
Yeah. The only thing I could see is because they have such a hard time finding decent linemen. I mean, they drafted Myers in the second round, and look at how good he is. So
he's good half the time.
They're not very good at evaluating offensive line talent or making the moves for the guys they need to. But they also haven't tried that often in the first round. But now they got to make. I mean, this is so crazy that they've gotten to this point because they need to prioritize receiver in the draft, and not necessarily because there's a great crop of receivers or even necessarily because you think that's the better way. It's just because of how receivers' salaries have gotten.
Which is
look at all these guys that got insane contracts. You can't afford to go out and get a veteran receiver and pay him a crap ton of money. You just can't do that. So you got to find a young one who's cheaper. So you got to prioritize that. You got to fix the offensive line. Like, how do you do all that? So all the stuff has been invested in the defense, and they're hammering on the floor about, in the Monday press conference about the defense. So much resources, all these first round picks, all these high paid free agents on the defense. And this is the result you're getting from that much investment. And not only that, all but a few of the guys actually like playing defense, have a mindset to play defense.
And now
look at the Jets, dude. Look at the teams we played. The Bills. Those guys look like defensive players. They look like they like playing defense. They like attacking and tackling people. The Packers, most of the guys don't look like they like attacking or tackling anybody.
The other thing is, apparently there's been rumblings that the defensive players are this with the coaching, saying that the coaching is not putting him in the best place to make plays. And I'm like, I don't know. I just showed a crap ton of plays where you were there to make a play and you didn't make them. Savage, Stokes, Amos, Campbell, Smith, Clark. Every one of them. And those guys have been here for a while.
Yep.
Like, I could see Quay Walker. He's a young guy. But you know what? He made some plays in this game. Did Rasul Douglas get beat? Yeah. Well, he's going against Stephon Diggs, who's quick and fast. There's no reason. If you're going to put Rasul Douglas on Stephon Diggs, he needs help deep, period. Especially if you're going to put Jair on the number 2 receiver. You put Jair the number 2 receiver, he should be able to handle by himself. He's the highest paid damn corner in the league. Yet they're shading safeties to Jair and leaving Rasul screwed on the end? I don't get it. Also, no spy for Josh Allen, it's not a freaking shock the guy runs all over the place. I don't get to watch that many Bills games. The few I get to watch, I see, and I'm like, holy crap, this guy runs all over the place. There should be a spy on him at all times. So take your most athletic, fast freak, Quay Walker, and have him just be the spy. It'll make it a very easy assignment. We talked about it all like last week a little. Well, we didn't talk much about it because we were talking so much about the week before how they should have won that game. But that was one of the points we both made. Hey, let's give Quay Walker an easy assignment of just stopping Josh Allen, right? He's fast, but Quay Walker's fast. Quay Walker can handle him. And it's a simple assignment. And they didn't do that. And Quay Walker made plays when he was out there. And then, of course, he got kicked out of the game. So maybe it wouldn't have mattered even if they would have had him be the spy anyways. The other thing I watched, I'm going to say something. I watched the Vikings game, and I saw Chandon Sullivan breaking up passes and doing awesome stuff, and I miss him. Chandon Sullivan got a lot of the brunt of some things last year when he played really good the year before, but he had a rough year last year in the Joe Barry system. And that's because they made him play off too much and do nothing. And he got schooled a couple times in the nickel. Well, now he's playing on the Vikings, and they're having him play man nickel. He's up tight and shoving the guy and using his physical skills. And he's playing really good for the Vikings. I don't know. It's partly the scheme, yes. But when the players are timid and wussies and not going and making plays, and then they go out and say that they don't trust the scheme of the defense of coordinators, which may be right. I don't know. But Joe Barry can only do so much. When Savage is in the hole, make the freaking tackle. I mean, it's not even that hard. I don't know. My screen is just going crazy. Holy crap.
That's 100%. Like, I mean, some of those plays, you had unblocked guys in the right spot, in the position, you have to make the play. And it's a mindset, and it's like Zero points out earlier, Savage lacks physicality. He's always lacked that. So what were supposed to be his attributes? Okay, he's fast. Well, what good does that do you if a guy can't locate the ball? Because he can't locate the ball. He can't catch very well. He doesn't really break up that many passes or stop the many completions. He doesn't tackle well. I mean, I know he's a first round pick, but you can't just start a guy because he's a first round pick. I don't give a crap. Like, yeah, I would take anybody over him right now at safety. Literally anybody else they have should play before him. And then he can't even help you on special teams. So technically, he should probably just be cut.
Except he's going to make $7.5 million next year, guaranteed, because they took his 5th-year option.
Oh, just what and why? Like, what has he shown you that would make you want to pick up the 5th-year option on the guy? What did he show you? What have you seen from him?
He sort of made some plays 3 years ago. That's just they had him sit in the middle of the field so he could like run around and do some stuff every now and again. But he's a liability. Even if you like, I've heard some people say that they're like, well, he was really good in the robber role under Mike Pettin in the last season of Mike Pettin. He actually made some plays there. And I'm like, okay, in the past, but when you haven't played the robber role, he's also got to help cover the running game. And it's obvious he can't do that. He sucks. He can't tackle anybody. He's not aggressive. He's too worried about getting beat. And it's just not feasible. You can't put him out on the field. Same thing with Stokes. You can't put him on the field. I don't know. I don't know quite what to say. Like 2 weeks ago, I thought the defense was in good hands and the offense was terrible. And now I'm like, holy crap, Matt LaFleur finally coached and they actually look really good on offense running the ball. And now the defense has got the players are wussies and they don't want to freaking tackle anybody. And as a Packer fan, what's the answer? What are we supposed to do? I see all the threads. Everybody wants the coach fired. Everybody wants a defense coordinator. That's the first question they asked Matt LaFleur on Monday. Hey, is your defense coordinator going to be canned or what? And he's like, no, I'm not canning him. What are you talking about? And it's like, yeah, like why would he can him? I mean, even if he is doing stupid stuff, there's only so much you can do if the guys on the field can't tackle anybody. And it's not like and I want to make it clear. I think they probably need more drills on tackling, but these guys don't want to tackle anybody. Savage does not want to tackle. Stokes does not want to tackle. Jair does not want to tackle. Now, Jair sometimes gets in the mix, though, which is better than most, but he doesn't want to. But he'll do it. He does get fired up, and I'll give him that credit for that.
Yeah. And this game against the Bills was his best game, and he played the most aggressive. And maybe that was because he was jawing with Diggs and all fired up on that personal stuff that was jarring him. But either way, he was showed a lot more fire and a lot more aggressiveness this game.
Well, there comes a point where you can only, like Zero says, that nobody's had more defense coordinators in the last 20 years in the Green Bay Packers. Okay. So at what point, when is it not the coordinator anymore? And it's about the players you get in this team. I've been saying that for years. I said it 2 years ago when we had a debate show at the end of the year. And I said, I want some mean guys. I want a guy who's going to elbow you in the gut. I want a guy who's going to smack you in the face. And you know what? Quay Walker got kicked out of the game because he hit a guy out of bounds and touched him. He thought he was just helping him up, but he didn't know. And he shoved him, but he was fired up. He's playing defense. He's running all over the place. He's one of the only guys out there trying. I give Quay Walker credit for at least trying to do something. I wish he would not have touched that guy on the sideline, and I know he wishes that too.
Yeah, 100%. And if you didn't see it, you can see how much the guy cares. And we'll listen to what he said, and then and I want to tell you what I think a big factor in this game was right after that. But this is what Quay Walker had to say after the game and the whole thing.
So I was making a tackle on the sideline on my former teammate, and I just felt as I was getting up, I wasn't on him or anything like that. I just felt as I was getting up, felt somebody pushed me from behind, and I probably misinterpreted on what it was. I just felt the push, and I'm on this sideline, feelings just flowing. I'm very hyped and everything like that, and I just reacted out of emotion. But right away, as soon as I did that, I I regretted that I did that, but it's something I'm gonna have to live with and I'm gonna have to face. I'm willing to do so. But I apologize to the guy that I did push. Although I did feel like I was pushed, but that may not have been the case. But at the same time, I'm sorry for what I did, and you just got to face it. And it is what it is from that case.
And I couldn't find the other. I couldn't find the other clip. There's a longer clip where actually they asked him tried to ask him a second question, and he just got broken up about it, and he was upset.
And he's like, I gotta go.
Yeah, and yeah, he's wiping tears from his eyes. The guy cares. The guy gives a crap, and he's a rookie. And a lot of these guys, hey, they get paid either way, right? But I don't know. I think now I know the game went a certain way, and I know all the things that were said, and I know how much of a mismatch a bunch of people thought. But I think losing Quay Walker was a huge blow to the Packers' chances of winning this game. If he stays on the field,
Christian Watson too.
Yeah.
And that's Goody. Goody brought those two guys in. And I've heard so much shit the last 2 days about Goody should be canned because he never makes a trade and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sorry. I mean, I know you're talking about Quay Walker, but it's just those two guys are difference makers. And they're difference makers right now on this team. So go ahead. Keep talking about Quay. I'm sorry. I just kind of went nuts.
No, I just said he was one of the only guys who might have been able to contain Josh Allen if given the assignment to. And
which he wasn't. That's coaching.
Right. At least on the one play he wasn't. And then he was out of the game. And then he was also one of the only guys that, would get off blocks and make tackles. So what more do you want from the kid? And you're right. Goody has caught a lot of flack, and everybody says Goody's terrible and all this sort of stuff. And I thought so for a while too, but he's made some pretty good draft choices in some spots that were really needed. And like that kid, I think could be a really good player. And Watson, we don't know, but we need his speed. When you didn't get MVS back, you need the kid's speed, and you see what the difference in the offense is when he's not out there. There's no threat. So you got to play this way. Can we just say about that, how annoying it was just to talk about the announcers talking about how, well, this is the way you have to play if you're the Green Bay Packers. You have to play this way. No, this is the way you should play. When they started running the ball and they were down by, 2 scores plus, and they're running the ball and not throwing it. And Chris Collinsworth kept talking about how, well, this is how you got to play if you're the Green Bay Packers. You're just trying to extend the game or, shorten the game and keep possession of the ball and blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, that sounds like a good plan. Keep possession of the ball. Keep away from that dangerous guy on the other side. That sounds like a good idea. That maybe makes some sense when you're playing the Bills. And on top of it, it was your most effective offense. Remember Aaron Rodgers before the last couple of drives when they had to get it and they had that 95-yard drive and he had 83 yards passing on that drive. He only had like 70 yards passing before that drive. In the whole game, Aaron Rodgers. So, what was effective was the running game. The passing game is not effective for multiple reasons, partly him, but more so the protection and other things. But what got easier for Aaron Rodgers was when they were running the heck out of the ball, then there's some play action passes in there and guys are more open and he had more time. He could do the deeper dropbacks, right? Because you're coming off a play action and that gives you more time if your line can't block.
The other thing was the Samori Toure touchdown. They moved the pocket.
Yep.
Because Von Miller was getting some pressure and they moved the whole pocket that way. So they could kind of, just shade off that whole side of the field. And then A.J. Dillon, when you watch that play back, does an incredible job. He blocks, their defensive end. He takes him on. The guy beats him to the inside, and A.J. rides him all the way to the other side to give Rodgers enough time to get that ball thrown. And if A.J. Dillon wasn't there to help pass protect, Rodgers just creamed. But they designed the pass protection on that particular play and that wasn't even supposed to go that deep, obviously. But luckily, because they did do that change in the pass protection and kept A.J. Dillon in the help pass block, that gave Rodgers enough time and Samori Toure enough time to adjust his route and get to the end zone and for that awesome touchdown. But it's one of those things where, Packer fans see a lot of flash, like the regular Packer fan. They don't really, I don't know if I think they know, but I don't know if they really want to know. Like, the key to this game was like AJ Dillon on that pass protection. The key to this game was Josiah DeGuara in the run game, getting all these spring blocks to set up easy first 2-3 yards for the running back so that they can keep going. So far this year, a lot of times the running backs don't even get that initial 2-3 yards. They got to try to beat somebody before they get to the freaking line of scrimmage. But in this game, because of Josiah DeGuara and the way they ran the ball and the way they called plays, the running backs were actually not getting touched until they were downfield a couple yards, which led to even more yards. And that's awesome. And the pass blocking and the helping out by Josiah DeGuara on one play and AJ Dillon on that awesome touchdown were key plays. And being able to coach and adjust was something that I was concerned about. And Matt LaFleur showed us that he did it this week, which I was happy about. Now, when it comes to, I think we should talk about the trade thing. Chase Claypool, it's been said, they offered a second-round pick for Chase Claypool. And then the Bears swooped in and offered a higher, one spot higher, whatever the hell it is. Because we got the same record, but who knows what the records are going to be at the end of the year. Whatever.
Yeah.
But the Steelers thought if we trade Chase Claypool to the Packers, that'll help them win more games because they actually have a quarterback who can actually pass the ball, where the Bears have a quarterback who can't pass the ball. So it won't help them as much to win more games. So that's what they were thinking. And it's a valid thought. My question to you, Jason, is this. Do you think it's beneficial after, like, I'm assuming the Steelers said, hey, the Bears just offered us their second round pick. You want to throw something up? And then said no. Do you think it would have been worth something to put more in there to get Chase Claypool, who is, he's Alan Lazard with better hands, more speed, and a better athletic ability. That's what he is. He's a number one receiver with Alan Lazard's size, but the athletic ability of, I don't know, like Greg Jennings. I mean, it's weird, but he's also a head case.
No.
So you don't really know what to deal with that guy. What do you think? Do you think they should have sweetened the pot, throw in another, like a 5th round pick or something, just to kind of get, give them a little more to see if they would go for that?
Well, I mean, potentially, mostly because not for this year, but for future years. Because we know,
right,
if you add them now, if you add anybody, it doesn't matter who you add. If you add anybody now, it's going to take how long for them to get on the same page as Aaron Rodgers and have the trust. And
I know you hate Aaron Rodgers, and you're going to say that.
It's legitimate, dude. That's what we
I
said
understand
forever.
that, but I'm telling you right now, I'm just asking you about if you think
sweeten the pot.
They should have done that. Do you think it would have made a difference to get Chase Claypool on the Packers? That's my question to you. Is it worth a second and maybe a 5th round pick to trade and get him?
It's always worth picks to get a known commodity if you believe in that commodity. So yes, if you liked the player. For me, I don't know if he has. Is he a good blocker? Is he a willing blocker?
Yes.
Okay.
I think
well,
so.
then I would.
Well, I don't know. The Steelers actually, their running game is terrible, so I have no idea.
Because we saw the difference in this game with good run blocking wide receivers for the most part.
No Alan Lazard, by the way, even though everybody says he's so great at run blocking, but you know what? He really isn't.
And we also saw Amari Rodgers make another good catch and adjustment, and. I don't know. I know he's not gonna, jump off the stage or run past anybody too fast or whatever. But as a receiver and a blocker at receiver, I think he's got something to offer. So, I mean, I guess, yeah, for just throwing in another low pick, I would have done it because they do that all the time anyway. They throw around picks like crazy. So what the hell? Why not?
Right. They traded 2 second-round picks to get Christian Watson.
Yeah.
So think about that.
Right.
So why wouldn't they have just sweetened the pot a little bit to get Chase Claypool, who is an obvious playmaker, who's proven it with 10 touchdowns his rookie year? Yeah, he hasn't been doing as much last year, but he had the shell of Ben Roethlisberger throwing him the ball on a 2-yard passes the whole freaking year. And not only that, the Steelers have like 75,000 wide receivers every year. They always go to that number 18 who can't catch, who drops half the balls thrown his way. I don't know why the Steelers always throw to that guy.
Deontay Jones.
Whatever his name is.
Deontay Johnson, yeah.
Yeah, like why? He sucks. I don't get
it. It would have been an interesting match. You figure Watson comes back and you got him and Watson. I mean, then you have a pretty big overhaul at receiver and talent.
I think it should have been done. And this is my thing. My feeling is Allen Lazard is on a 1-year contract. Is he worth keeping? If you have to give him $10 million next year, is he? I mean, if you ain't going to pay MVS $10 million, you sure as hell ain't going to pay Allen Lazard $10 million. He's dropping wide open freaking 5-yard slants on third down. You can't have that. And he doesn't block that great. He doesn't have any speed.
Yeah,
he's a third receiver at best. Let him go. Robert Tonyan is also on a 1-year deal. And he's not the best blocker in the world. Chase Claypool is almost the same size as Robert Tonyan. Claypool is 6'4", 230. He's a monster. And you'd have him for this year plus next year. And then you make a decision at that point. So you would have, not only that would it help you this year, but you wouldn't have to worry next year. You wouldn't have to be trying to get something. So my other question would be, would you be willing to pick next year for a proven wide receiver? Even if he's a number 2, he's a top-notch number 2 receiver. He's close to like a DK Metcalf type. And if you put him in the right system and not a system where they're just throwing these 2-yard passes all the time, it would spread the field. You'd have 2 guys with speed and size that would scare the crap out of a defense with him and Christian Watson if he could ever get on the field and stay on the field. It was a dumb move. They should have sweetened the pot. They let him go to the Bears. And I think what happened is Goody is, I don't know. If you're willing to do it, right? Like everybody said they offered it. What the hell is another 5th round pick thrown in? You used the 4th round to move up to get Jordan Love, who hasn't played for 3 freaking years. You traded up an extra pick to get Amari Rodgers, who doesn't play. He's finally playing a little bit now. You used 2 second rounds to get Christian Watson. Why wouldn't you add a 4th or a 5th to get Chase Claypool? It's dumb. We need him. Not only for this year, but for next year. And then you don't have to worry. You can let Lazard go. Sammy Watkins can go. Randall Cobb can go. Aaron Rodgers can go. They can all go. And you'd have a dynamic receiver, Jim Watson. You'd have a stud like Chase Claypool. You'd have Amari Rodgers, who's better than everybody thinks he is. You guys able to make catches and drop easy ones for some reason. And then Samari Toure, who apparently is super smart and is able to find the open hole. That's 5 guys right there. You don't have to worry about it next year. And the majority of those guys are under contract for another 2 to 3 more years. So it would solidify a lot of things. You'd have a bunch of young studs. And it was a miss. It was a huge, huge miss by Goody. Huge miss. And I usually don't like doing the trade. Like, everybody's like, oh, get Julio Jones, get OBJ, get this guy, get this guy, get this guy. I don't want an old, like people were talking about AJ Green, and I'm like, oh my God, no. We don't want an old, used up piece of crap.
Yeah, it was a rental for 1 year or whatever, or
right.
half a year.
And Chase Claypool was originally a 2nd round pick.
Yeah.
Who the Packers wanted, but they couldn't trade up to get him.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean,
so they took AJ Dillon instead. So they could have had the guy that they wanted by just giving up a 2nd round pick next year and maybe a little bit more. Who gives a crap?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. That's my feeling. I think it was a dumb move. It was a bad choice. They should have made the move. They should have added a little extra. And I understand why everybody's mad. I'm mad too. And it's not because I don't. And I want to make it clear. I don't think Chase Claypool is going to help them win a Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
But I think he's potential to help Jordan Love or whoever the quarterback is after Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Taylor Heineke. Yeah.
Whoever it is, to make your offense a little more isn't dynamic enough. They just need a guy to help make it dynamic.
Yeah.
Right. And it might give you 3 or 4 more points a game because he can just spread the field. He can force the defense to be concerned about something, which opens it up for somebody else. Who knows? Christian Watson can't get on the field. Alan Lazard's hurt all the time. Randall Cobb is hurt all the time. Sammy Watkins is hurt all the time. I don't know.
Poor Raider Rick and his Raiders. I don't know what happened to him either.
Sorry, Rick.
They laid a big turd after we were just talking about him doing better, and then I don't even know what happened. Rick, we'll have to go to Rick for some other time on that game. What the hell happened? Because what did Devontae have, like 1 catch for 3 yards or something?
Yeah, it was bad.
Yikes. That was not great. Look, I agree, and especially when you could get a guy that you know what he is and you like what he is versus, a pick that you don't know what the hell that pick's going to be.
And is he kind of a head case? Yeah, he's kind of a head case, but who cares?
Yeah, whatever. It would have certainly made some nice toys for who's ever quarterback next year. And whether that is Rodgers or whether it's Jordan Love or whether they get lucky and get Taylor Heineke because he just knows how to play his butt off and win and make plays when you need it.
Hey, I got a real short video to show you here.
Okay.
Check this out. I noticed this when I was watching the game. Let me know when you got it up.
All right, it's up.
All right, let's watch this. It's a nice little short video.
Rick doesn't know what happened for the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Rick.
That was terrible.
Where was this ball supposed to be thrown? I don't know. But why he spun around 3 times, I have no idea. But man, that was some Donald Driver stuff right there.
Yeah, it was a great catch.
Greg Jennings.
And then no bobble, no jiggle on that ball.
Who's that guy right there?
Hey, Jordan Love.
What was that? That's interesting. What happened here on this huge Romeo Doubs catch? Who's this guy over there picking him up and smacking him on the butt? Who was that guy?
Hey! I think Jordan Love could be a good teammate.
You know what? I think Jordan Love is a good teammate. There he is, helping out Romeo Doubs. I think Romeo, I'm going to say something. Last week, Aaron Rodgers on Pat McAfee, yesterday, actually, he said that last week's Packer practices was the best Packer practice. He said this was the first time they felt like Packers, like they were actually like working hard and working like Packer, like they should, like professionals. And that's interesting because Aaron Rodgers did, and he was a limited participant on Thursday and Friday, which means Jordan Love led the whole practice on Wednesday, and he was led the team on part of Thursday and part of Friday. And now in this video I just showed, Romeo Doubs had a huge game, and the guy who's celebrating with him and keeping him in the, telling him good job and all this kind of stuff is number 10. Now I'm sure Rodgers also said good job and whatever, but Jordan Love has gone out of his way here on 2 plays, on these 2 huge plays by Doubs to give him support.
And he's
right. Would you see right here?
And he's got a connection with Amari Rodgers too.
He's right here, and he's going to sprint. Look at him. He sprints. Woo! He sprints over there to give him a pat on the butt. Good job. So I think Romeo Doubs' success might be from the support of Jordan Love in practice and just kind of being a teammate. And I think maybe Jordan Love is paving the way for the future for him to be the leader. I don't know. But I just noticed that when I was watching the game, I was like, dang, Jordan Love he's like really like, that was, and there's other guys doing it too, but that after that touchdown, he lingered a little bit. He said something to Doubs. And then on that other sideline catch there, he sprinted over there and picked him up and patted him on the butt and told him how awesome he was. And I think that's a huge thing. And about Aaron Rodgers and his leadership on Friday, hopefully you're going to get that for me. And what we talked about earlier.
Yeah, we got it.
I just thought that was interesting. I don't know. What do you think? You think I'm reading too much into that? Or I think maybe Jordan Love had a key part in Romeo Doubs' success on Sunday.
Well, I think he certainly has been a supporter and guy that's helped boost him up when he was getting trashed. Like a bunch of guys were getting trashed. You got to have somebody in your corner, and you got to have somebody maybe who's had a lot of time with the guy who's trashing you to say, hey, look, he's just being hard on you, or he expects a lot, or maybe he's really a dick. I don't know what Jordan Love said to the guys, but probably could have been all those things, and they all would have been true.
Yeah, they're all true.
But either way, I think it was probably helpful to guys like Christian Watson and Romeo Dobbs and Samari Toure and everybody that's not Randall Cobb and Robert Tonyan and Alan Lazard, Rodgers guys in this team. And Amari Rodgers too, for that matter, because we saw a connection. Jordan Love trusts Amari Rodgers.
He does,
and Amari Rodgers can make some plays when given the opportunity. He just didn't get too many opportunities.
Well, he got some good passes in this last game.
Yeah,
but I just thought that was interesting. Wanted to show the video a little bit, just say, hey, I mean, I don't think it's a secret. I'm ready for Rodgers to get the crap out of town. I can't stand him. I hate him. I would like to no longer be the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers.
What do you think, about Zero's comment here?
What's that?
It's too bad we'll never see Jordan Love play as a starting quarterback. I don't think that's true, Zero.
I don't know. I don't know, Zero. I'll say this. As a Packer fan, I want my team back. And I think the only way to get it back is for Jordan Love to be the quarterback and for Rodgers to be gone. So and that's the funny thing is now you're hearing guys like Andy Herman, Bill Michaels. They're all saying how Goody made a huge mistake and the Packers made a huge mistake by giving Aaron Rodgers that contract. They should have just moved on. Blah, 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 blah.
Wow, really?
And I'm like, wow. And Andy Herman's saying that he said it before it happened, and he did do a show that said it's time to move on from Aaron Rodgers. But then he was like, I don't really believe this, but these are the points that might work. If you watch the video from back, that's what he said. Now he's like, I said it should have happened. It's like, nah, you really didn't say that, but you did, but you didn't. I did. You did. We did. We for sure wanted him gone.
Especially for all that money you wanted.
You're never going to get more from him right now. He's a two-time MVP. Guess what? He's not going to be MVP this year. We could have got the Hall from Denver because Denver wanted him. And you know how you know? Because they signed freaking Hackett, who can't coach, to be their head coach just to get Aaron Rodgers. And it's obvious. We could have made it all.
Hey, David.
What's up, David?
It was a savage. Tommy Ball beat Rafael Nadal in Paris. That's the sports story of the day. Oh, okay. Wow, that is a big win.
Roger Federer is retired, so I don't care.
But I would say the sports story of the day. Did the Bucks play today?
I don't know.
If they did, it's always the Bucks. And if it's not, then let's go back to the Friday game where Brolo had 5 out of 8 3-pointers.
You and your Brolo.
21 points. When the team was stagnant and they needed a shot in the arm, and Brolo gave it to him, lighting a splash mountain from outside. Woohoo!
You need to stop with your Brolo.
I get the most excited of anything in sports when Brolo makes a 3. It's my favorite play in all of sports.
Why?
Because it's awesome. Because he's a 7-foot giant who shouldn't be splashing 3s, and he just splashes them up. 5 for 8 on Friday night for Bro. Low key to the Bucks. He also is leading the NBA in blocks per game at 4 blocks per game right now, by the way. Heads up.
Well, it's because he's 7'3" or whatever he is.
And he's smart. He doesn't get that many rebounds because Giannis gobbles up all the boards. So he can't get
no more basketball.
All right, fine, Packers.
This is a clip of just Rasul Douglas. Here we go. Rasul Douglas. This one is titled Packers D. Rasul tried. He tried to win. He was the one guy who actually tried. So here you go. I don't even know what he does in this play. What does he do? Oh, yeah. He takes down Josh Allen. He's the only guy who can take down Josh Allen. It's Rasul Douglas. God dang, he's good. He's so good.
Preston Smith couldn't make that tackle on that touchdown play, or nobody else can make those tackles.
What's this play? Why am I showing that? That's bad.
Maybe show how slow Devondre Campbell was getting over there. Or, let's see. What were you thinking here?
It's a pass. Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to show. Devondre Campbell doing nothing. It's great.
Yeah. He has been a disappointment this year for sure.
So he's moving this way because the running back's moving that way, but he's got a 5-yard cushion on him, so there's no reason for him to do that. He should have just sat where he was. And because he moved this way, this running back comes back around, and he's so out of position that this guy gets 16 yards.
I
mean, look at that. It's pathetic. Campbell is another problem with his team, by the way, everybody. No offense to anybody who's out there, but it's the truth.
Man, I wish we saw some of that other Slayton on the field instead of the one we see.
I know. I'd rather see Chris Slayton, too.
Hey, and there it is. Quay Walker, punch out. 2 punch outs. 2 punch outs already this season. When was the last time we had a guy that a linebacker or anybody on the defense that consistently punched the ball out?
I don't know.
Walker knows how to do it.
Okay, I just wanted to show this. This is the touchdown pass that Rasul gave up to Diggs. I just want to show the alignment, how it's Diggs by himself on top. So you're telling me Rasul Douglas against Stephon Diggs, who's quick and fast, and that's the assignment was just that, with no safety help over the top. Because Amos does not go deep. He sits here. Savage goes deep to help with these two guys on this side. Why do you have Douglas? And by the way, this is Nixon because they took Stokes. This is when they took Stokes off the field. They benched him for a while. But watch Amos. Amos should be back here. He should be back further.
What is
I don't know.
Looking at?
I don't know. He's got this. And he's got a tight end with Campbell here ready to go. So why is he looking back here? I don't know. But Douglas can't keep with Diggs. Anybody who's halfway intelligent would know that. So Amos needs to get his ass moving and watch this. His eyes are back here. Look at where his helmet. You can see his face, which means he's looking at the quarterback or he's looking here. This touchdown is not on Rasul Douglas. And look where Amos is. And Savage.
Not much help. Really. Not help.
All alone. You think Douglas is going to be able to handle Diggs when he had that much room to work with on the sideline?
Yeah, because he started from a tight split too. So he had a bunch of room to try to get past him there. Amos does absolutely nothing. Just kind of.
So, I mean, I would have loved to have seen Douglas cover him better, but he didn't. There's nothing I can do there.
Well, I don't think anybody's going to stop him on that one-on-one in that type of situation. Jair's not going to be able. Nobody will stick with him on that.
That was the pick. So, it's the last play.
Rasul's pick?
Yeah.
Or Jair's pick?
No, Rasul's. Jair's was in the end zone.
So, Rasul is a guy that I would love it if he could play safety because he's so aware and good at catching, picking off passes and catching the ball and tackling, by the way. But we don't have enough good corners. We don't have enough good corners to have him play safety. That's the problem.
Also, where would they play him? Because if they play him in deep safety, I think that would be bad because I don't think he has the speed. And I also think there'd be so many plays where he couldn't make a difference then. You know what I'm saying?
I would play him where Amos normally plays, and then I'd put Amos as the deep safety, which Savage normally does. And then because Amos is pretty aware and can locate the ball, and he's not good at tackling, so of course then Savage ended up having to tackle guys in this game. So I don't know what you do. I just think he would be a great safety, but we don't have enough good. My point is we don't have enough good guys at corner. We need him at outside corner, unfortunately, because we don't have enough good corners. That's the problem.
Well, he's playing in the nickel here.
Paulina says Bucks won. Hey, all right, Bucks won. Bucks always win.
That is good. All right, so on this play, they're playing 3 deep zone with 3, and they're sending 5. And of course, Kenny Clark is way back here doing nothing again. By the way, heads up. No offense. And Douglas, because he's playing the zone, is the first down marker. He's supposed to watch the first down marker, so he lets the tight end go. And I think Josh Allen must be thinking that somebody went with the tight end. I don't know. And Douglas just kind of sits here because his job is to just sit here. So now Diggs is coming out here. The tight end is here, and he's getting covered here. Stokes has got – this is where Josh Allen should have threw the ball because Stokes is way off. but he thinks he can hit 13 coming across the middle because Savage is going this way. But I think he just doesn't see Douglas sitting here or something. I don't know. He's looking here and here. Should have threw it here. But he just doesn't see him. Chucks it right at him. And, of course, he makes it. Then I don't know what the heck. That bothered me. Douglas, that he should have never done. But it wasn't. I mean, he was just in the right spot, I mean, he didn't really he had to jump and get in a, passing lane, but
he read where the ball was going. Look at him. He's reading the quarterback, reading the ball, and then he makes a play. I mean, how many times do we see guys don't read the ball and not make a play?
Yeah. I mean, I think he's trying to throw it here, but Douglas jumps it and then jumps in there and grabs it. So I don't know. It was a dumb pass because Douglas was just there, but hey, I'll take it as a Douglas fan. Everybody knows I'm a Douglas fan. Oh crap. There it goes.
Bucks did win. They beat the Pistons 116-91. They're now 7-0 on the season. The Wisconsin team that everyone should be a fan of, Milwaukee Bucks.
Well, I'd be a bigger fan if they still had Malcolm Brogdon because he was my favorite. But I still also love Bobby Portis. I'll take him. He's my second favorite.
And they got a bunch of good guys. Even the rookie, Marshawn Beauchamp. He's a nice guy, nice kid, been through a lot.
Like his name. You think Beauchamp is cool? Name.
Well, no, I just think he's a nice kid. I like nice guys. See, that's the thing with the Bucks. They got a bunch of nice guys, and they know how to play to win. The Packers got nice guys, and they don't know how to win.
Well,
maybe they.
I don't know. So here's my question, Jace, to you.
We got one more question before we go.
I've heard a lot about people saying the season's over.
Oh my god!
Even if they do beat the Lions and blah 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 blah.
All right, I'll pull it up. Let's take a look at it.
But I'm not talking about standings. I don't care about standings. I'm talking about the team. What do you think about the team? What do you think about, as a Packer fan, what do you want to see them do, moving forward? If they don't make the playoffs, are you going to freak out? But they show improvement and, the coaching is still good, but the players on the field still suck? You know what I mean? What do you want to see that'll make you be like, okay, I believe in these guys to do something next year, or to possibly, if they sneak into the playoffs, they could actually do something. I don't want to see them just squeak by, make the playoffs, and get blown out.
I would say, first off, Aaron Rodgers 20.4 QBR in this last game versus Josh Allen at 83.5 QBR. Well, okay. Well,
20.4.
20.4. His QBR for this year is really terrible because of all the short passes and because of all the other stuff.
We had a pick. That's right.
He did have a pick, but he also only had 6.8 yards per, where Allen's was 8.7 yards per. So you get a lot. I think the QBR gives you a lot.
You're telling me Aaron Jones had more yards per carry than Aaron Rodgers had yards per attempt?
Yes.
Or was it yards per?
I think that's yards per completion, actually, I think.
Well, that's,
if I'm not mistaken.
That's really bad then. That can't
maybe
be right.
Maybe it's a temp. It's got to be a temp.
A couple deep bombs in there. There's no way he would be a yards per completion.
Got to be
yards per attempt.
All right. Yeah.
But Aaron Jones had 7 yards per attempt running.
Yeah.
Yet everybody thinks the passing is more. Hey, everybody, that's more yards per carry than per attempt in the game. So I don't want to hear any more. That's all you have to do. When LaFleur and Rodgers say, "Oh, we got to pass the ball," I'm like, no. Aaron Jones got more yards per carry than you guys had per attempt. Period.
It's a pretty strong case. Okay, so here's the answer about the Packers season and what I think. First of all, I think they have definitely, the season's not over. All the people are giving up saying it's over and this and that, and they're not going to pay attention and blah, blah, blah. The NFC still has a lot of weak teams. A lot of stuff is going to change. You never know. The Vikings could still find a way to implode. Maybe not. Maybe you don't win the division, but there's 7 teams that make the playoffs. And I think what I saw in the Bills game encouraged me to think that the Packers might actually make the playoffs and might actually win a couple of playoff games, or who knows what could happen, because if they are a running team that the quarterback complements the running offense and this defense gets their crap together and plays like they should, then I think the Packers could be a really tough out. I think it could be similar to 2010. And you got to make some tweaks. You got to make some adjustments. But I see that type of hope because, and that type of, I'm encouraged to that level based on what I just saw. Before this game, when I didn't see him run consistently and I saw this stupid spread offense and the empty sets and all this other dumb stuff and not using Jones and Dillon the way they should, I was not thinking it was going to happen this year, but now I believe it could. Now, Bakhtiari's got to keep being available to play, which is important. And Elton Jenkins is an improvement from guys they have. So I'd like to see him get his butt back in gear and get out there. But the other key is these receivers. You know, I think some of these injuries are good for the team right now at receiver in many ways. Because I like what I'm seeing from Amari Rodgers, and I like what I'm seeing from Samori Toure, and I like what I'm seeing from some of these guys that are getting a chance to play. And DeGuara, 100%. So let's run the Matt LaFleur offense and see if it can get us in the playoffs. That's what I want to see.
I agree. And I didn't think I would say that.
I didn't either until this week.
But I've heard so many people, like I've listened to everything from, listen to Bill Michaels. He's back, by the way. He's back doing Packer stuff again.
Oh, he's not running for governor anymore?
I don't know. He was running for governor?
No, that's Tim Michaels. That guy's horrible.
Oh.
Anyways, sorry.
Him, that Locked On Packers, Peter Bukowski was a moron, and Andy Herman, all those guys, Andy Herman's not a moron. I like him, but they're and then like Meerdink, they're all like, I don't know, they all think it's over. And I understand.
For me.
No, but I understand. For some of them, I understand because we're not seeing any changes with their personnel on defense. Now, if we see them on Sunday and they go back to the same stupid offense they did before last week, then I'm out. I mean, part of my encouragement is the fact that I was encouraged by the fact that they coached and they got the right guys on the field. But Rodgers even said at his locker today, LaFleur said that Lazard practiced today. I'm just not believing in Lazard anymore. I don't believe in Lazard. I don't believe in Tunyon as much. I certainly don't believe in Big Dog. Two of those guys were undrafted for a reason. I mean, I hate to be a jerk, but they've had multiple years to prove that they were studs, and they just don't. They're not playmakers after the ball's in their hands. Yes, they can catch the bomb from Aaron Rodgers downfield when they're open, but they can't get open. And if they catch the short pass, they can't do anything with it. So I would rather see Romeo Doubs and for sure Christian Watson if he can stay healthy. It's Josiah DeGuara. I like Zach Tom a lot. I want to see him on the field over Yash at right tackle, to be quite honest. I think he's better than Yash is. And Jenkins hopefully can get healthy, and that's what I want. I hope that's their lineup. If all the guys are healthy, I want Jack Tom at right tackle, Yash ready to come in if somebody gets hurt at left tackle. But that's it. And then on offense, we have to see a change. If Savage keeps playing this way, they have to put Rudy Ford in. They have to make. If Stokes keeps playing like crap, you got to move Douglas to the outside. And for God's sake, if you put him on a fast guy, can you give him some damn help? He's your best tackler. He's better than Stokes at everything except for speed. So if you put a speedy receiver who's quick on him, he's in trouble. But anything else, he'll handle. Anything else he can handle. Just help him deep, please. You can't let him get beat deep like that. Now, it's not going to bother him, but dumb fans are going to be like, Rasul Douglas couldn't cover any. Diggs, oh my God. Okay, well, Diggs is like one of the top 10 highest paid receivers in the NFL for a reason. He's good. He's fast, and he catches everything. So, hello. Yeah, it's going to be tough. But those changes need to happen. And if those changes do happen, we've seen guys are in the right spots on defense sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they put plenty of times. Guys were right there to make the play. You just got to make the play.
They can do enough on defense. They can stop them enough. And if the offense can just sustain drives and score points, which they can do if they run the ball and they run the system they ran against the Bills, that's a team that works together to be productive. Now, they can't afford to have these terrible snaps on kicks and block field goals and block punts like they've been going on again, and snafus on punt returns where the guy can't catch it. It can't happen. But I like the young players. I really do. I like Goody. Everybody's giving him crap, but I'm telling you, look at his drafts compared to Ted Thompson's. Ted Thompson's drafts are crap. Goody's got Jenkins. Myers is not the best. I'll give you that. But you know what? Runyon's doing pretty dang good at right guard. I think he's better at right guard than he is left guard, which makes no sense. I don't know why it's so much different at guard, but apparently it is.
Yeah.
Mari Rogers is making steps. Josiah DeGuara, I think, is the first third-round pick Goody ever got right. When he gets in there, he's awesome. A.J. Dillon's pretty dang good for a beefy guy. You look on the defense, Gary's okay. He's got to do better against the run, but he does get some pressure. I really do like... Oh, Devontae White in this game, by the way. He wasn't that great, but he's better than Kenny Clark, I'll tell you that. So there's something. I don't know.
Gary plays with effort too. I mean, he goes. He just
right.
It's just he's not as fast as Josh Allen. I mean, he had some times where he got in pursuit, but he just wasn't as fast as him. What is he going to do?
I just think Packer fans, if anybody's listening, that most of you guys know that I hate Aaron Rodgers, and I do, and I wish he wasn't the quarterback anymore. I wish they would have got rid of him. I wish, and that's the other thing. I don't say to get rid of him to blow it up and to start a rebuild. No, to get rid of him, to give Jordan Love the chance and then use this defense and the running game. Because Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to do that. And that's what's holding the team back. That's the thing that's so dumb. But if Rodgers plays the way he did on Sunday, they might have a chance. He actually extended a drive one time by using his legs. I almost fell over. Though at the end of the game, when they needed to he threw the ball away 3 times because he had a little pressure in his face. And that's what led to that long field goal that got blocked. There were guys open, but he wouldn't throw the ball. Now they had a time crunch and they had, they didn't want to use their timeouts or whatever. And I get all that stuff, or they had none left. I can't even remember. So he didn't want to throw it in the middle of the field. He was waiting for something to get open on the sidelines. And then he got pressure and then he threw it away or threw it into the dirt to stop the clock. And so that's part of it. So, and like I said, I think the game he played on Sunday was pretty decent. It was pretty good. It wasn't bad. Like, I don't know how he got a 20 QBR. He should have been higher than that, I think, but whatever. But if he can check his ego and try to win, which is a big if, I believe there's enough room for this team to learn how to play. The young players can get some experience. They have to not play their favorite, like Goody's or LaFleur's got to just listen, Big Dog's a nice guy. He's not a good player anymore. He just isn't. Lazard's a great guy. It's done. He's not dynamic. It's over.
I'm fine with Lazard playing some. It's just you got to play him in the right.
No,
put him in the right positions. Like, don't have him be the guy that catches the. He shouldn't be the guy catching the quick pass. What the hell is he going to do with it? It's the same thing we said. It's the same thing we said about other guys. Play to these guys. If you're going to play certain guys, play to their strengths.
Let me ask you a question.
And if we can see if we can see their strengths. And most Packer fans that pay attention can see that Robert Tonyan is not good at catching and starting, but he's good at running downfield and catching passes. And you're going to keep throwing these screens and quick outs to him and stuff like that. Same thing with Lazard. Like, if we can all see it, why can't the coaches see it? I just don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. They should be able to see it. And as a coach and coaching staff, regardless of what the player thinks or what, certain people think, you evaluate what they're good at and you put them in the positions to do what they're good at. You don't fit them into it's not round peg in a square hole. You don't try to make them do stuff they're not good at. You try to give them opportunities to do things they are good at so you can all succeed. That's coaching. That's football.
But they don't do that.
No, I know. So they have to do it.
But they don't.
Well, so maybe then they're finally getting it.
Because they don't do that, it's the players who have the best physical ability and the best ability to be, I don't know how to, adjustable. Is that what I'm saying? No. What do I want to say? Adaptable to the play. Not massageable, you dingus. Able to like adjust to whatever's going on around him, right? Like Josiah DeGuara. Is he super fast? No, but he can block. He can move in space. He can pick up the blitz. He can freaking carry the ball after he catches it. He's got quick moves. He's good in space. He's okay with running fast and running into a dude blocking. That's a good player. He's better than Robert Tonyan. He just is. He's a better player than Robert Tonyan in every way except for speed and catching. Okay? Robert Tonyan can catch everything, and he's got straight line speed. But I would take Josiah DeGuara over him any day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
What does Lazard do better than anybody else on the team? Than any receiver on the team. Tell me an ability that Lazard has that's better than any other receiver on this team, and the reason why he should be on the field. That's right. There is no reason he should be on the field. He's not fast enough. Almost every other receiver is faster than he is.
He's tall.
Except for but he doesn't use his size.
No, I know he doesn't most of the time.
So it doesn't matter. His hands aren't that great. Yep. His blocking is not that great, even though everybody says it is. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
But he falls on his face all the time. He can't get off the jam. I mean, he's a 6'5", 220-pound wide receiver who can't get off the block on a jam man coverage. He can't. What good are you if you're 6'5", 220 pounds and you can't get off a jam?
Yep.
You suck. I mean, I'm sorry. There's no reason for him to be on the field. Amari Rodgers has more agility, same speed, not as tall, catches about the same. Romeo Doubs is better with the ball in the air and getting contested catches by a lot, and has way more agility and more speed. Samori Toure gets to the open field, is quicker in and out of his break, and has pretty good hands. Sammy Watkins is just pretty much Alan Lazard, except he's a better blocker, I think. But they're about the same. Randall Cobb is super smart and can get and find the open spot. So I'll give him that. He's got decent hands. I'll trust him on that. So he's better than Lazard there too. I'm sorry. I mean, tell me something that Lazard does better than any of the other guys. Nothing. There is zero reason. It's the same thing with Big Dog. Brady is at blocking. No, he's not. His hands aren't better than Robert Tonyan or DeGuara. So I'd rather see both those two on the field. His blocking is not better than DeGuara. His speed is certainly not better than anybody. And so why is he out there? I don't know. So because Lazard got hurt, it actually was better. Think about it, guys. Like, I'm not trying to be a jerk.
No, because we've been fans of Lazard. We like him, and he's a nice kid.
Okay, 6'5" doesn't matter if you don't know how to use it. Lazard, we've had him for 4 years.
He's never played big. He's always played smaller than he is, which is weird. We've had receivers that played way bigger than they were. Like Double D was only 6 feet tall, but played almost like he was 6'5". Other dudes played much bigger because they could leap. Like Greg Jennings was only 5'11" or something, but he could go up and get it. Lazard just doesn't play to his size, which is really weird because you would think for a dude that big, you could dominate. You should always be open. You should have a big catch radius and someone could throw it up to you and you go get it. But when you play soft and you don't attack the ball, it's weird because you're already not going to be as fast or as quick as those smaller guys. So what do you have? You have to use your size to your advantage, and he doesn't use his size to his advantage, plain and simple. And he never has. Very rarely has he gone up and made big time plays with his size. Very
one
rarely.
Time I saw him make a contested catch in the end zone one time.
And I like him. And I like him, but
I like him too. He's a great guy. But you know what? He is. If everybody was healthy, he's the last guy I want on the field, and that is really sad. That's really sad.
Yeah.
And he held out the whole offseason because he wanted to get paid, but they had his rights to force him to, be a unrestricted agent or whatever.
I didn't think I was gonna like Amari Rodgers as a receiver as much as I am, but I'm really kind of liking him. I mean, again, like I said, he's not that fast, but he's shifty. He breaks tackles. I think he has pretty good vision in open space as well, which is probably why they want him to be the punt returner. So I would love seeing some of those quick passes to him or screens to him. Now that means he can't block for the guy, which kind of sucks because he's probably one of their better blockers too. But
he is.
But I mean, for this, for like other types of offenses, I wouldn't like him. But for this offense, I like him.
That's the thing. Like, think of the guys they've drafted in the last 3 years with Goody and LaFleur. And then you can tell they work together. DeGuara, Amari Rodgers, Christian Watson now with the speed, and because he's replacing the MVS spot. Those are all positions that they need. It's the, Amari Rodgers is like the Deebo Samuel, but he's not nearly as good. But, it's a guy we can get in the third round who could maybe help you. And then, Juszczyk, that's your DeGuara. Except DeGuara is actually better, I think, than Juszczyk. He's got a little bit more athletic ability, but they don't use him enough. They don't have a Kittle because Kittle's just a maniac who blocks like a madman, and, Tonyan doesn't do that. He also isn't great with it ball after he catches it, where Kittle can break tackles and run over dudes and do all kinds of crazy stuff, and Tonyan just doesn't do it. Sorry.
Yeah.
He's not even a poor man's Kittle. He's not even that. He's not, I don't know. He's not even anything, really. He's just a fast guy with good hands, which is great, but it's not a tight end. So what is he? I don't know what he is. So, I mean, I don't know how we got talking about this stuff, but what I'm saying is what we saw on Sunday, I liked. We saw guys on the field because everybody else got hurt. And you know what? They moved the ball and they played pretty good. And the only times they stopped was when they stopped running and Rodgers started doing dumb stuff, or when they went into empty backfield and the defense just whipped the crap out of them and got easy pass rush because they knew it was a pass and the offensive line couldn't hold up on 4th down and 3 and whatever. So is that the players or the coaches and Rodgers' fault because they called the dumb play? Just the 4th and 1 was dumb.
Yeah. To your point, I was going through the first half drives and I'm almost all the way through, but the only 3 and out that I had, even though they only scored 7 points, the only 3 and out that they had was a possession, like their 3rd or 4th possession, where they went pass, punt.
Yeah.
Every other possession, they ran the ball and they did something with it.
And they were effective with players who can run this scheme because they're versatile. They're versatile. That's the word I need. They're versatile. They can do it all the facets, so that you don't know who's going to get the ball at what time because you don't know where they're coming from and where they're going. And that is what's cool. And Rodgers made some great passes.
Yep.
And he looked like Aaron Rodgers again. That looked like Aaron Rodgers from 2014 a couple times. Some good passes, good decisions. But he's got to learn that he can't be the superhero all the time. Just take the shots when it's there.
We need, and we'll talk about this on Friday, but what we need is Aaron Rodgers to defer to the run game and then be available to make the plays when we need him. Right? When we got to have a 3rd down conversion, or we got to go with a pass play, it's difficult. Great. Then we need you. Or if we're down in a game and we need some magic late, then we need you to make the plays. But up until that point, actually thinking about that, that's how Tom Brady played a bunch of the last 10 years of his career, right? He'd hand the ball off all the time. He'd freaking hand the ball off. And then if his team was down and he needed to come back, or if they needed some magic late, then he'd throw the ball all over the place and get it.
Well, he threw it a lot too.
Until the last couple of years when he was throwing it like a maniac, like throwing it like crazy. But the last, second chapter in New England, that's how he played. He'd hand off all the time. And that's what we need from Rodgers. Hand the ball off, and then make a play here and there. Make a little magic once in a while. But reserve it. And then he could be super valuable to this team. He's not going to have the big gaudy numbers, but he could be exactly what we need. He'd be a big upgrade from Jimmy Garoppolo, because that's how Jimmy Garoppolo has to play.
Well, Rodgers had to throw the ball over the middle of the field, which he doesn't like doing.
Well, he's got to do that too.
But I think the fact that they've been so bad might help him do that this year because he's got no shot to get the MVP anymore. Like he's so far down.
Right.
That maybe now he will actually run the offense and, be smarter and blah, blah, all that kind of stuff. And then it goes back to the defense. Can the defense play the right players or light a fire under these guys who suck and tell them, listen, if you're going to blow tackles left and right, you're done.
Enigbari's got some fire.
I like Enigbari. I like him.
I know. But I'm just saying he's not a pass. He's like a kind of a more fiery, aggressive guy on defense, which is good. We need more guys like that, or we need to the guys that are like that got to get the passive guys kind of charged up. I don't know what you got to do. Insult their mama, do whatever you got to do, but get them mad.
Whoa.
Whatever it takes.
Dude,
if you insult somebody's mama, you're going to make them mad. That's 100%.
Yeah.
Don't say anything bad about our mama. You make me mad. Probably Ben too.
I'm always mad. I'm like the Hulk.
All right, we got a Friday radio show, 7:00. 1 hour show, and then maybe we'll do a little extra if you guys are chatty again, but otherwise we'll sign off. But we appreciate your chat.
We are not going for 2 hours and a half like today or like last Friday. Actually, I don't have to work Saturday this week.
But it was kind of fun because everybody was like chiming in and chatting in, and
yeah. Well, we also we were getting weird there.
We're getting weird. Well, we're having fun, but it's all right. Anyway, Lions are ahead, but we have the big news from last week to reveal. I don't know how it wasn't a big news story. And you said to me when I shared it with you, you were like, "What? Where the hell was this? I missed it. Nobody's talking about it.
Peeps about it. I don't understand.
How is nobody? I think it's the reason you saw a change in Aaron Rodgers, and the only reason he didn't say anything stupid after this game. There's one reason, and we'll talk about it on Friday during our radio show. That's why you got to come back. 7:00, Hafeman Bros channel, and also the Civic Media app. No matter where the hell you are in this country, you can listen to it on the Civic Media app for the cleaner audio. It's better if you don't see our faces anyway. But be good, stay good. As always, for Ben, for me, peace out. Stay well, be well, and go Pack Go, because I saw some encouraging signs. So there's bright spots ahead for the season. Peace out, guys. See you Friday. Just